Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you're conscious, of being conscious that you're conscious, cause you can go back to sleep or return to the state where the prophet found you. Wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you are unconscious, dripping in the cares of the world that almost drowned you. And now the rock of your salvation is only a step away from everything you used to do and everything you used to say and all those harmful things you kept around you. If I can get you to think, I can get you to free yourself. You're Moorish American, be yourself. Our prophet, noble to Ali, that's what he taught. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, cause wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness.
It is the knowledge of the lower self, the sensing of powers of man himself. Okay, now let's break down the wisdom. It is the consciousness that man is all. That Allah and man are one, but naught is naught. And power is but illusion. That heaven and earth and hell are not around, above, below, but within. Which in the light of art becomes naught, and Allah is all mercy, all power, all wisdom, all knowledge, all truth. We got the proof. Faith is surety that man will become deity. The ladder of salvation reaches from the heart of man to the heart of the Creator. 3 steps will make you greater. Believe, faith, fruition. That's the current mission. See it all through and become one with the truth.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change, and the law is a part of me. When wisdom is the consciousness.
It's easy to point out the differences that we have, but it's about love and it's about unity. We must move away from ritualism, formalism, and custom.
One God, one name, one destiny. We believe that our cause is unity. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one name, one destiny. The stars and the planets, the caught to the clouds. The lion to the lamb, the mother to the child. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the dial. Victory is assured, the time is now. True king to hold back the flames, he a marshal. Headed for Rome, shoot through it like a harpoon. Serving justice, you should double take cover. Go the age of the Moors, yeah, that's me, your couple. Fresh out the water, get my gizmo on. United front, books and bitches, no palm. I know you used to Luther, but check out my love song. Either we making babies or getting our slug on. I mean, more bodies gonna enjoy that butter love. But different great bodies run everything but a love. For the love, if you love it, and if you love, let the incense rise, just pour down the sun. The bonds of affection make us one in his gold. The clasp of the palms sound like clouds when they explode. We want you with your soldiers or ironclad mode. Writing the rival man must be what he knows. One God, one name, one destiny. We believe that our cause is unity. destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. The stars to the weather, caught to the clouds, the lion to the lamb, the mother to the child. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the dial. Victory isn't sure, but the time is now. It's a letter to the grand chiefs, a message to the few. Made a will of the law, guide the actions that you do. This is the job of the bomb tech. Careful what you do. Next, no failure for the human soul made a force be with you. As you enter the grand text with symbols of wax, splinters of the MSTFA, but still perfect. Gotta put this back together, but with no corrects, no adjustments, and we got no time left. Love may manifest. All light is a feather in your chest. Skins for infiltrators and forever no rest. This line is for the members. It's past time to surrender. There's no time to waste. Get your boots tied more. Get your minds to remember. Set your soul on fire. It's a double-edged sword. Each one reach one, teach one the more. Flame on, holy zeal, cause victory is sure. Put your hands on, we working towards excellent rewards. Earn yours. Finally, a message to the man in the mirror. Purity's a must. I can't put it any clearer. You lose your bloody splitter, then get caught up in fears. 3 steps, be sincere, don't get left down here. Beat lust, don't stare, you're near, feel it in the air. Beat the clock like a stopwatch. This is the year. Stop watching and fight for the throne. We're almost there. God, one aim, one destiny. We need now more is unity. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. The stars to the west, caught to the clouds, the lion to the lamb, the mother to the child. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the dial. Victory isn't sure, but the time is now.
Sounds like the theme music when it's wartime. And I must confess, I got a war mind. I'm fighting hatred, slander, lewdness. I'm fighting disrespect, I'm fighting rudeness. I'm fighting murders, I'm fighting thefts. I'm fighting shit I go right when they go left. Am I a rebel, internal devil? David slew Goliath, I need those pebbles. Give me that slingshot, give me one shot. 95 fourth quarter, I feel like Mike. This the unity of life. You read chapter 3.
Wars on the moon. One God, one aim, one destiny. We need now wars is unity. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. The stars to the west, caught to the clouds, the lion to the lamb, the mother to the child. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the
Rise. Giving praise to Allah. Giving honor to his prophet, Prophet Noor Ali. Giving up to the forerunner of the prophet. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Islam, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, Islam, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Y'all made me do it, ain't wanna do it. Try to break the jaw when I was going through it. I said hit the streets, you wanna hit the streets, you wanna stay in the temple. Same speech, same talk, same bark, no bite. Well, alright, I'm Taharka Bey and I'ma handle that. My brother spoke to me, said handle that. Now front and center, front line. Look at y'all, want mine, but it ain't mine, it's God plan, the law plan. Oh man, 2016, all you gonna see is Prophet Noor Ali. Old Moors, step aside, 34, come on, let's ride. Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. People visited by a prophet of God. And you mean to tell me we can't go hard? I'm a more of old, the one who rode the elephants over the elves in the cold. Even went to Spain, rearranged the terrain. Even tried to civilize Cain. Now cipher 2016. I'ma tell you what this mean. My tassel roll 360. Do you really think you can tell me what to do and say? Do you know I look up the form and pay? I roll with the prophet of a prophet more. Follow the prophets, so I profit more. Stop it more. I'm holding the world and make me drop it more. Now drop it more. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Chicago, Houston, Dallas, yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors. Hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Between you and I am the wisest. You never let your up, your household divided. How you gonna teach anybody but the truth when the people that love you, they don't believe you? Probably think you got jail religion. You need to wash off that stench of prison. Speaking of prison, that's all y'all attract. Talking about the children and y'all at that. Go on, scrap that. I ain't even tripping. I show you what happened when the law get you finished. No government grant and no food stamp. Behind the building temple for watching the ants. For watching my prophet and listen to a law. I will be in hell if I listen to y'all. Listen to y'all. Talking all Moors. Walking around broke. But nothing show for. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Rock this. Hey. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Stop screaming, bragging about our greatness. Third, fourth generation see through your fakeness. They don't really care about the bill of Granada. The primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada. Who you uplifted? Nothing, nada, nothing, nada. Nothing, 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 nada. Every day you get your mindset is sort of in the past. If you flex, I'm a blast on you and your staff. My young boys coming, they becoming more trans. Fucking putting on the love, this is nothing more to say. So watch them slander. They got the hammer, kinda like Peter. Protecting Jesus. I'm a Jew and the apostle. Don't get hostile, cause I ain't don't tell them what I do for the gospel. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, man. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. Amen. Time for the Moors to stand up. Stand up. Polite on the way. We've been in the background too long. Let's go. It's a new day for the Moors today. Let's get one more in real quick. Bey. One more in real quick. One more. One more. Let's get one more. Let's get one more, family. One more. Before Polite come. One more. Time to check some people. One more. Can we get one more? Taharka Bey. Can we get one more? I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. What I gotta do. That's right. Check it out. Listen, listen, listen. We for love. Yeah. Truth, peace, and freedom. Can we get one more? What up, family? Won't nobody do it, leave it to me, I will. You lames, you gotta chill, you so not real. I've been watching you fake snakes, acting different, cause you don't live in the hood and don't get public assistance. Man, my people be tripping when they think they better. All type of degrees, still dumber than ever. So corrupt and foul, but they know how to hide. They polish their life and look good on the outside before the bell back and I expose them all. They be tricking worse than them shorties up in the mall, getting high as a kite, beating their wife and got a mistress and got another look down on you. The brothers is cursed, see the worst, then the no not. We know who you are, but all the heck you do is throw shots. We see what you got. Okay, you made it through school. Okay, you overcame. Little homie, that's cool. That's cool. So you done came up with your little education. Now you want to look down on me and my people. Yeah, one more. We'll keep on looking down. That's right. And why you at? We on the come up. That's right, fam. Let's go. I'm sick and tired of these lame old frauds. Keep picking up the mic device, acting so hard. I've been through that fire, the type of things you never heard of. Little lanes like you will commit self-murder. You acting like life's so sweet over a beat. In the street without your heat, you clowns is weak. In the spot, in the box, you straight mince meat. Them tattoo tears make you look like a geek. Little sideshow freak, acting like they cheat, acting like they me, or who I used to be. But they all be embellishing, no weapon intelligence. Taking care of your seeds, irrelevant and pressing up shorties, cause she got a little shape. But her nail and her weave, her whole style is fake. How can she be a dime? Her brain flatline. Her birth canal is probably foul as swine. Oh! Yeah, that's right. Spit a few bars. All right, here we go again. Yeah. Time to check some people. Moorish World. Taharka Bey. Islam. I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. That's right. Islam. We for love, truth, peace, and freedom. Won't nobody do it, leave it to me, I will. You lames, you gotta chill, you so not real. I've been watching you fake snakes acting different, cause you don't live in the hood and don't get public assistance. Man, my people be tripping when they think they better. All type of degrees, still dumber than ever. So corrupt and foul, but they know how to hide. They polish their life and look good on the outside before the veil back and I expose them all. They be tricking worse than them shorties up in the mall, getting high as a kite, beating their wife and got a mistress and got another look down on you. The brothers is cursed, even worse than the no-not. We know who you are, but all the heck you do is throw shots. We see what you got. Okay, you made it to school. Okay, you overcame. Lord, homie, that's cool. That's cool. So, you done came up with your low education. Now you want to look down on me and my people. We'll keep on looking down. That's right. And watch them. Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. I'm trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet her. I'm all about justice, the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish fashion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Another calling me Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what I come to, my brother. We got nothing but to do down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly, but we can. I gotta stop it. Hey. I'm my biggest fan. I am my biggest fan. If you don't like Taharka Bey hip hop, that's on you. I love me some Taharka Bey. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said you must learn to love instead of hate, I started with myself. I am in love with me. And that's how I am able to love you. With that being said, family, how y'all doing? We back another time. Just sent Brother Polite the link. I sent it before. I don't know what happened, but we waiting on him. You know how Brother Polite do. He gonna wait till at least about a couple more people come in, and then he gonna come in. But let's calm it down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. This gonna be a good one. Y'all see, I call this one No Holds Barred. That means that Brother Polite is my brother. Respectfully, he's my brother. But people want to know who Brother Polite is. That's the reason of this for this show. So my job is to ask the questions that the people ask me. People call me, people inbox me, people send me stuff through Facebook. A couple pigeons even came to the crib with little notes on it, little leg, you know. Now this is a joke. Come on, man. Come on, I got corny jokes. That's what I do. I'm just a happy guy. Hey, y'all be tripping, man. Hold up, man. You know what I mean? Y'all be tripping, man. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Stop tripping. I got some corny jokes. Anyway, a couple pigeons came with a couple notes, and people got a lot of questions. So we're going to ask the brother the question when he come in. I don't see him trying to call me yet, so he must be good. He probably watching at home. Him and Aminette and the family probably watching me at all goofy, whatever. But who cares? I love me. I'm in love with me. It is what it is. But now let me check this out. What we gonna do is this. as we always should do, when we address a group of people, we should always rise and give praise to our Creator. Whatever you choose to call your Creator, you should always rise. And when we say rise in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we're talking about raise our thoughts. You know that their thoughts don't offend people, but we raise our thoughts and give praise to the great God of the universe. If you don't believe in God, give praise to that silent alarm clock that woke you up this morning. Give praise to that unseen battery, that unseen electricity that keep your heart pumping. If you don't believe in God, give praise to that unseen thing that's making you receive this message about giving praise. You feel me? So in the Moorish Science Temple, we say we rise and give praise. We raise our thoughts and give praise to the Almighty God of the universe. And we call that God the God Allah. But he is the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all things have grown. He's not created, but he's the creator. You can't make him, he can't be born, but he's the source of everything that has been born. And we give honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because if it wasn't for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, there would not be no me. You know, this brother say, Jesus said, if you cannot believe in yourself, then believe in me. Hey, I ain't got no argument with that. Is that what you want to do? Hey, I believe in Allah. I believe in the infinite being. I believe in the all-merciful, incomprehensible, the creator, the founder of the universe. But hey, to each his own. I just know that that invisible alarm clock that woke me up this morning, I ain't see it. I ain't even hear it. I was asleep, but I jumped up. You know what I mean? That thing that keep my heart keep pumping. You know what I mean? I ain't even got to plug it. I ain't got to plug it in. It just keep going. You feel me? So I give praise to that. So we got Brother Polite. He'll be in the chat in a minute. But today has been a beautiful day. Today has been a beautiful day due to the fact that I woke up today. Today has been a beautiful day because I talked to a few brothers that was interested in squashing this back and forth with Moorish groups. But let it be known that Taharka Bey never initiated this. Never, ever will I initiate conflict. Never. Not with a Moorish group, not with any group of African descent, or anybody for that matter, because I'm for peace and not destruction. However, when love, truth, peace, and freedom has been violated, justice must take its course. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it, not get it twisted. When love, truth, peace, and freedom has been violated, justice must take its course. So I would never violate somebody's love. I would never violate somebody's truth. I would never violate somebody's peace or freedom. But if you violate mine, justice must take its course. Now, if it's intellectually, no problem. It's cool with me. I'm going to come at you intellectually. I would never call you names. That ain't my style. Never, ever. Never, ever. Sometimes I want to. But I ain't calling no name, because the next thing you be like, your house stink, and then your house got roaches. They go from all that. I don't get into all that. I ignore all that. And then one day I see you face to face, and I say, what you say, good brother? How you doing? Islam. Show me some love, brother. This that agent you was talking to. Is that what I do? This that agent right there. You know that? Yeah. When I pop up in the ATL, when I pop up on the West Coast, it's long, family, you see. But nevertheless, how y'all doing today, family? How y'all doing? Do anybody got any questions in the chat? Now, I'm looking this way because this is where my computer at. And I want to see if any questions in the chat before the brother come on.
He should be on any moment. Now, he sent me a text and said, come on, Moore. And now the brother, I don't know what's going on with this brother, man. This brother superstar status, man. All this old superstar stuff. He got to come down to that level. You know what I mean? Brother Polite got to come down to that level. Let's get Brother Polite. I'm like, man, what you doing? You just said, where you at, Moore? Where you at? That's what he told me. Come on, Moore. I'm ready. And then LOL. You know what I mean? And now he on Superman, superstar status, man. We got to stop this, man. Hey, first of all, let me get a shout out to my brother, the great vanguard of Temple 19, Atlanta, Georgia. Under the grand governor of Atlanta, Georgia, Heru Reniciel, one of my spiritual guides, one of my spiritual giants, one of the guys that I call Heru Reniciel. I want to also give honor to my brother Nas. That's the vanguard of the movement. Everywhere I go, if I seen the brother in Philly, man, he popped up, looked like he ready to go to war. Y'all go see the video. It's on the video. Anyway, we got Brother Polite in the building. So honor to my brother, man. Honor to my brother Nas and honor to my brother Moorish Hot, because these are my vanguards. So any of y'all want to get ignorant, like the brother that rubbed my brother Polite the wrong the other day, they got strict instructions. Kick you out the chat and keep it moving. That's it. Strict instructions. Kick you out the chat, keep it moving. If you want to be a Negro, you got to go to the Negro land. If you want, you can go play that in Negro land. We're not going to do this in Northwestern Maxim. This Northwestern Maxim. So you have to obey the rules. What's up, brother Polite? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, King. Doing good.
How you feeling?
No complaints whatsoever, my brother.
What's up with this hat, brother? Every time I turn on, you got a fly hat. You know I'm a hat guy, right?
All right, that's what's up.
You know I'm a hat guy. I got like, hey, I got like a whole, man, don't get me started. I'm trying to tell you, hey, when the Knicks, when it was at the, what team y'all got? Jay-Z now. What team? Come on, brother. You know I'm getting old. What is it?
Brooklyn Nets.
But when the Nets came, brother, I went all the way up to NY so I could have the first Nets hat in Baltimore. I ain't playing. I wanted the first one in Baltimore with the Nets hat. So here we go, brother. We back again, brother. So yesterday, where we was at?
That's what we was at.
We were talking about some of the questions, and I have tons of questions, brother. But I want to start. I want to start right here. We're going to start with the public. You want to start with the public, brother Polite?
Yeah, it's up to you, bro. I'm with it.
Let's start
with my brother.
Hey, brother, let me tell you this, brother Polite. I know you got thick skin, right?
Yeah.
So you know people gonna ask you some crazy questions, right?
It happens.
And that's the purpose of the show. Because this is my thing, awesome real family. The reason why I asked Brother Polite to do this is because I respect Brother Polite. Whether y'all do or not, I respect the brother. I respect his efforts. I respect his work. And he know and I know that we don't agree on everything. But we do agree that we've been oppressed. And we need to get this on hand of oppression up off us. We do agree on that. But I respect the brother. So I want y'all to respect the brother too, but don't hold back. This is no holds barred, because everybody accused this brother of everything. Everybody accused this brother of being an agent. People accused him of getting taken away with aliens or something. I mean, everything under the sun. So I'm going to put the number up. I'm going to put the number up. Matter of fact, I'm going to text the number to a brother real quick, because I told him I'll let them go first, and then we'll go from there. But brother Polite, I have a question, brother. Here we go. I'm about to give it to him now.
Let's do it.
I don't even know my own number, brother Polite. Hey, Polite, I ain't big as you yet, right? But I got a couple phones too, all right?
That's the era we live in, man. It's all right.
I got a couple phones too, because I don't want nobody calling my phone and they got my phone number, and I think we gonna talk some serious business, and they talking about more sold people into slavery. I'm not talking about that on my personal line. You know what I mean? Yeah. But brother Polite, let me ask you. We were talking about going to California. What is different the uplifting efforts in say Beverly Hills. Where do you live at? Actually, where do you live at, brother? I don't want your address because people see you like you stunting or something. Where exactly do you live at?
Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm sorry. This is the only time. This is the only time I'm do this, brother.
You good, my brother. You good, brother. You know I respect. Do your thing. Shoot, because I'm gonna ask you for a donation before it's all over. So you better get some work done. That's right. You're gonna help me build this Moorish world, like it or not. You know what I mean?
I should be done. I'll let you know right after.
So I put the number in there that the Moors really kill all the people in Africa. Why did the Moors help their own people? Hey, Chuck, go ahead, brother. Like, Chuck, a brother named Chuck said that the Moors kill all the people in Africa. Let me tell you something, Chuck. The Moors are Africans. So when you say that Moors enslaved people, you're saying that Africans enslaved people. One thing about the Moors, we don't deny that we went astray and that we did some dumb stuff. But don't try to disconnect the Moors from Africans. Moors are Africans. So they're interchangeable. You can't say Moors and then they enslave somebody as if they separate from Africans. That's that other channel thing. That's what they do, try to separate the Moors from Africans. But we're not going to do that. So anyway, my brother said he live in Beverly Hills. Brother, what is different between Beverly Hills and New York as it relates to uplifting our people? And you were saying yesterday, for those that wasn't here, Brother Polite was saying yesterday that his mission is bigger than I guess would be the inner city. He's going after another demographics of uplifting. So we want to ask right now, while we're waiting on the call to come in, what is the different demographics? Is you want to be the conscious guy of the stars? Is that what you're trying to be, Brother Polite? Or that's what you're doing? I ain't gonna say what you're trying to be. I'm trying to phrase it right.
My goal is to leave no man behind. And many of us believe that only members of the lower income community need the conscious information. But then the members of the lower income community that grow conscious call the people who have the resources of our community all sorts of derogatory names because they don't share their resources. And I believe a lot of them don't share their resources because they haven't been impacted in ways that we had as far as being conscious is concerned. In case, I'm like, we should leave no man behind. Many of us are under this weird impression that just because people live and have live under a certain tax bracket, that they don't deserve the right of them being educated as well. So it stands to reason that I will build with everybody. So I'm not just trying to cater exclusively to, maybe you should just leave it alone until later. I will not build with the celebrities exclusively, but I feel that they've been left out as well. So I'm here to talk to everybody. And through talking to them, vicariously, there's a communication to the brothers and sisters in the community that may not be as wealthy as some of those brothers and sisters may be. But they influence the people in lower income communities undoubtedly. So it stands to reason if I influence them, I also influence the same brothers and sisters I was trying to touch base with. But sometimes you got to go the distance just to come closer. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I gotta go all the way out just to connect with people that were already in. The amount of people that I've impacted from the time I left the community to the time I was in the community, when I compare and contrast, I'm like, damn, I've actually grown more attention leaving than when I was in. So I'm effective.
I got you. Somebody in the chat say, I guess celebs need that knowledge too.
One more time, my brother.
Are you good? I guess celebs need that knowledge too. Being a Moorish American study Islam little makes you better Buddhist, Christian, spiritual, etc., etc. Facts, Bernard. Facts, Bernard. So I'm looking for questions. I'm looking for people to call in before I get my questions in. Matter of fact, let me send it to somebody else real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. We can do that.
Let me send it to somebody else real quick. So,
yeah, I give you one of my crib addresses, man. You come through. Ain't nothing. I'm doing the live stream. Just come through. It's all good, bro. Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe. It's all right. I'm gonna text you right now. I'm actually live right now talking to somebody, but you know, I just picked it up. I seen you was here. I gotta salute you because you're from outside. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Now look, everybody talk this stuff, and now nobody got no questions. So let me ask you, brother Polite. How do you feel about this? Is some of the questions that people have asked me, brother. Is the sis your wife Amanette around?
Yeah, Amanette's around here. She hiding. What's up? Say what's up.
I don't want no trouble. Hey, brother Polite, I don't want no trouble. But no, I don't. No, I don't. My sister Amanette, a brother asked me, how do, and you know I asked you this in person, so don't you hit me in my mouth. How do you handle, this is for brother Polite. How do y'all handle, is there arguments or trouble in a, you know what I mean, a what would you call it, a polygamous relationship? What would you call it, brother Polite? Can you explain it to us, please? Because people always speculate, brother. So, hey, how do you handle that? What's the ups and what's the downs, brother? Hey, over there, don't want no trouble. No trouble. So that was one of the questions. Hey, brother Polite, and I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way, please don't. But somebody even asked me, I don't know if you heard it before. What's the sleeping arrangements? You ain't got to answer that, brother Polite. I'm just reporting for the people.
You know questions.
Hey, brother Polite, I'm trying to report for the people, and that's it, brother. So if you want to answer it, you can answer it. You know, if you don't, you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, you see the boss in charge. He cut everybody off when the boss speak. Huh? There we go. We waiting on the bro. We waiting on the bro. But anyway, we're gonna find out. What's this? Okay, how many languages? I got you. I got a whole bunch of questions. I'm trying to get everybody to get their questions off first. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. Because a lot of people had questions. Let me see. Let me look at my phone because I had questions in my phone too. Yeah, I had a bunch of questions in my phone that people had text me. So we're gonna look at that real quick.
Yeah. Yep.
So did you hear that last question, brother?
I heard a lot of questions. So I would tell you this.
You don't got to answer if you don't want to. You can pass it up.
It's all right. The sleeping arrangements goes as follows. There's beds that we lay down on and we enjoy each other's company. Like anybody else who's in a relationship. So the people that's part of the relationship, as much as people can fit on the bed, we probably wouldn't put them on the bed because we like our leg and arm room. So probably 2 people on the bed probably works out the best. Almost all occasions, that's probably the best approach, right? And then arguments, I've argued less being in a polygynous relationship than I have in a monogamous, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the case for everybody else. We're very evolved because the whole group has been together for over 10 years. So it's very likely the chemistry is just different. Our focal point to which end we got into the relationship contrasts immensely to why most people get into relationships. So with that being said, it's a matter of the men and the women that's involved. I don't want to tell you that we are a flagship for polygyny unless people are going to follow idealistically the same route that we took, which most times people won't. They're going to do what they do. And providing they do what they do, I'm sure they will not get the same results because our people we've been through a lot in America. So to get the American African to come to terms with this type of relationship after the lack of knowledge of self, it's kind of difficult to conceive that they will have the peace that we found within ourselves because this didn't happen overnight. Like I said, we've been doing this together over 10 years. You feel me? Over 10 years. What happens?
Brother, so I got a question today. I'm telling you, brother, this real talk. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making this stuff up. And I actually just texted the brother the number, but he didn't send the number. The brother was saying to me, Brother Polite, I'm trying to say this right. Brother Polite, at one point, one of your wives was pregnant and he haven't seen the wife. One time you was at Sinetta Studios or something, and he haven't seen the wife, and she was pregnant. Was that your child? And is
Hold on. Are you asking me if my wife was pregnant and if it was my child?
No. I'm gonna get to the next question. And you heard this next one before, and you.
No, I'm saying, hold on. That question in itself is a very weird question.
No.
He's seen my wife. Hold on. He's seen my wife pregnant.
Because he haven't.
Damn child. My wife.
He said a recent.
I ain't walking out with somebody else's baby in my wife's belly.
I wanted to give it to you. This was the thing that he haven't seen.
I'm just saying the way that's worded sounds insane. Go ahead.
No, because he haven't seen you with the that wife or that child recently when you did an interview with your 3 wives.
What about it?
No. Was that your? That was the point of the question, I think.
What's the question?
Was that your? Are you still with her? And was that your child?
That's a better question. Because ask me if that's my baby while she's pregnant and that's my wife. I'm like, come on, man. We don't ask those kind of questions.
I'm trying to phrase these questions respectfully.
No, I hear you. I'm saying if you was with your wife and she obviously was conceiving, and I asked you, is that your baby that your wife is holding? You would look at me like I was crazy.
Absolutely, but the brother was telling me that he haven't seen you with the wife when you just did a recent interview, or haven't seen the child.
Yeah. And what was the question again? I'm doing this on purpose. What was the question again?
You said it's your wife and it was your child. Are y'all still together? Put it that way then.
Yeah, the people that I said this before in interviews. We got to the point because of all the disrespectful things, like people saying that I sacrificed my daughter to Illuminati.
Oh, stop right there. That's where the question was leading to. It wasn't about your daughter, though. You get my point, brother. I just want you to clear it up. That was all about the question.
The reason why I'm asking the question over and over is hoping that I actually get the actual question. Just ask me the actual question. You don't have to sugarcoat it.
No, the actual question was, what happened to your wife? What happened to the baby? Did you sacrifice the baby? That was the actual question.
There we go. Now we talking.
Brother, for life. You my man, brother. Man, it's hard. Listen,
hey, brother, let me explain something to you. We are on a live stream, right? If there's speculations of me sacrificing my child, I think I'd be under some kind of investigation if I sacrifice my daughter to Illuminati.
Brother, we talked about this in private.
Please don't sacrifice me.
Brother,
yeah, the world is trying to find out about your mother.
Listen to me. We talked about this in private. So I know
how you feel about it. Let me ask you the question, brother. Let me ask you the question. The reason why you don't see he's cool though. That's my man. He's a good dude from BMO. Yeah, so the reason why you don't see her mother or her sister immediately bloodline is because her mother, since she's tired of people attacking our family, when they see it's not getting to me, they go after our children and they go after the women. She personally says, I don't want to be in the camera no more. I don't want my child in the camera. Please do me a favor. As much as I know you want to parade around with the baby and show off and brag about how special she is, please, out of all your children, just please leave the little one out of it until she get a little bit older. My daughter's about to turn 3 years old. In a few days, actually. You feel me? The one that these Muslims are saying that I killed or sacrificed, and then can't even come out and make a public apology after they lied and said that I murdered my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I take it in because I understand what happens with bottom-feeding Negroes. I get it. But for that very reason is the reason why she said, you see, every time I'm about to let up, and say, let's do something. People go to my social media, they see me with my baby girl. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, it's just people who not tapped in. You got to be in Polite's world to see some of the energy, because I did work it out with my baby and with the mother that I can actually show my daughter from time to time. But I agree with her. And every time I'm thinking we can let up, some Negro says the types of things that has her alarmed, where she's like, she's tired of being attacked. She's tired of people attacking our children. They don't care. They have no heart. And it's making her not even want to be part of the community whatsoever. And she's not the only one in my household that's felt like that, even down to her oldest daughter, our oldest daughter. Benente has taken some steps away from the community. Now, people want to talk about my daughter, what she does, how she's going to grow up, or who she's going to be with. But keep in mind, the same people were the people attacking my children, attacking her from the time she was young. From the time my daughter was young, she was being under attack. Now she's older and able to see the videos with the people that were attacking her before she was even 11 years old. You feel me? So because of that, a big part of my brand is showing people family so it resonates with them, so they're inspired and motivated to build a family of their very own or sustain the one that they already have. Well, I have enough wives, so I'm able to pull that off, whilst at the same time not necessarily introduce everyone to every single woman now, because it is overwhelming, it is alarming, and people are very disrespectful. Nonetheless, I still gotta have the sisters and the children still show out to inspire people by the images. By the image alone, we need to inspire the people. But since I have enough women and children around me in my household and in my life, it stands to reason that everybody don't gotta be down. So I told her, like, yo, we good money on that. Because she's really hurt by the things that people say and do. Really hurt. So I opt out of that. She's like, I would just like us to have one child in our family that does not go attack. And guess what? Even when we take the baby out of the equation, they turn around and say we murdered the baby. Like, just think about how people are and how wicked. Let me show you how wicked people are. This is the last picture of my daughter 2 days ago.
That's right, brother.
She's not dead.
Brother, let me cut you off real quick, brother Polite. This is why this is good. This is why this is good, brother Polite, because you know and I know that now at this point you can say, listen, I spoke on this here, I spoke on here there, you know, but I'm done with this because we spoke about this in person, and I know how you feel about this. You know, we talked about when it first started, and then you know the conversation we had in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I think it's good for the people to get it out the way, and now they can't continue to say these crazy things. Because I'm not making this stuff up. I ain't making it up. So I hope everybody happy with it. Now everybody, brother, now you got me being the bad guy.
You're not the bad guy, but it's just very important that people understand when you're in my position, you deal with so much attacks, you're under so much scrutiny and subject to so much criticism that it doesn't mean that my children should have to be subject to the same thing. So it's my duty and responsibility to protect them. You know, I got to do that. Now, if I only had one child, I would have to say, baby, try to stomach it up, because it's important that people see man, woman, and child. But I don't got just one child. I got several children, and I got several wives. So I can still accomplish what I'm looking to accomplish aesthetically, whilst at the same time not compromising the integrity of a mother who feels this is the way I got to protect my child. Because like I said, even when we took her out of the equation, out of the media, people still went out their way to then say, well, the child was murdered. And I just want to explain to people something.
We know the origin of it too. We know the origin of it.
But it's several. Hold on, because it's Hebrews that did it first, before the Muslim brother did it. So what I'm saying is this. You don't understand the affliction in a household when people spread a rumor that the father murdered his daughter. Just to even incorporate someone's child in a death that is still alive, and to spread that. You don't know what it is when people say you sacrifice your child to make money in Hollywood. See, this is the very event that it make a man, when he succeeds, say, when it comes to who's getting the donations, let me skip over that group. And I used to say a lot, how come these ball players and these boxers and everybody, how come when they donate, they always donate to causes that are integrated with Black and white people, but they don't just give to the pro-Black community? I understand, because me personally, I feel the same way. With the exception of a few people, like my homies, immediately, if you show me on the radar where I need to donate, boop, 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 and you show me the so-called pro-Black conscious community, the one that's always calling me a coon, calling me an agent, saying that I murdered my children, I'm skipping over them. And y'all gonna have to complain and say, yo, why is he donating there? Well, I'm helping those Black people that got no affiliation with you crazy motherfuckers. That's just the way my mentality is gonna be. Now, for Moorish World TV, you always good for a donation. You always good for contribution. You already know. But I'm saying I understand now. Because I used to be like, yo, why are they overlooking the pro-Black? They got to know the pro-Black community exists. They got to know the Moors exist. They got to know, you know, there's a group of brothers and sisters that's Pan-African, that's for the liberation of our people, no filter, cut and dry, all Black everything. How come nobody ain't really hit us off yet? I know why. Because we on the sidelines disrespecting them day in and day out, and then on another day, oh, why he ain't give us no money? He gave it to them. Because you're always disrespectful. And you don't have a group of people checking the people that's being disrespectful. So be that as it may, I understand now. And I'm telling you, I got the same mentality. I ain't giving Negroes nothing. I give my Moor, the Moor can get something, but the Negro ain't getting nothing from me. I'm looking past him every day of the week. In fact, I will give in front of the Negro to the Moor.
And I appreciate it, because we're going to start building soon this spring and this summer. So let's move on, brother. I'm glad you did that, brother. And that was the rough patch. That's probably was the roughest patch. But the thing is, I know for a fact, and this is what I wanted to do with the Elder Taj Tariq. There's a lot of speculation goes on about that brother, and he rarely does intimate interviews where people get to know who he is. And because you are who you are, it's a whole bunch of stuff. But they got you on the level of them. What's the real like Kanye West? They got Kanye West. He on that real Illuminati juice. So whatever it is, let's go to this. Somebody asked, brother. Now this is a good one. What means is used in secured transaction when purchasing a property by the way of mortgage?
What means it's used for what?
Let's move past that, because I think I said it wrong. Ask him who he yeah, people son. Who did you shoot and what gang was you in? Dates and location. Man, who is this? Don't you answer that. What the heck? Don't answer that. Oh my goodness. Dates and location.
Negroes.
Come on, man. Why is that important? Here's a decent question, brother Polite. Do you believe Malachi York is guilty for what he's in prison for, despite the fact he was seen on video pleading guilty in front of a judge?
Well, it's not the guilty plea that gets me, because 9 out of every 10 people accused of a crime in America plead guilty. Now, is someone going to tell me if I randomly pull 9 out of every 10 people walking down the block and accuse them of a crime, that they actually did the crime? Of course not. We know that 9 out of 10 people, according to the Department of Justice, 9 out of 10 people. Let's keep in mind, America has the largest prison population. In fact, America has more people in prison than some countries have people free. 9 out of every 10 people accused of a crime in America plead guilty. So the guilty plea doesn't bother me. It doesn't. If you look at Scott's case, just recently, this black man's been shot in his back. The policeman been caught out there to lie and fabricate evidence. They still had a mistrial, didn't they? And we got clear and cut and dry evidence that he'd been shot in his back. We see the policeman run from the body, where he said they was trying to resuscitate him, but he didn't know he was caught on camera, run to a different location, which is against protocol, because now he can fabricate evidence. He got caught lying so many times, and still there was a mistrial. It's just recent. 2 Mondays ago. Having said that, it is not him pleading guilty that gets me. It's the sensitivity to the charges that makes us all inclined to just be reluctant to embrace them, because that is the nature of those type of accusations. Taharka, if I was to accuse you of child molestation right now, it still would stick in people's brain no matter what.
That's right.
And that's the name of the game. Why the hell? Like, if you were accused of child molestation right now, how many people would say, yo, you can watch my son real quick while I go down the block to get something to eat? You know how that is. We can't, once the accusation's put out there, I mean, we only gonna go but so far with that. So that being the case, what I'm saying to people is, insensitivity to the people that may have been abused, I have to keep a crevice of space open as far as doubt is concerned. Is only right out of respect to the accusers. Do I know that there was a conspiracy to railroad that brother? Of course. Do I know the feds been studying for over a decade? Of course. Do I know that they got several recantments, several people to say that they were coerced? People that took the stand.
Yeah.
It's put in the FBI lead witness to say they was coerced to say the things they said, because they themselves were either accused of molestation or facing criminal charges. All of them. All of that is true. But inside of all of that, does that mean he never did it? Of course it doesn't. Do I feel he was set up? I damn sure feel Dr. York was set up. He was just doing way too much. And especially to go into Hells of Georgia and put up a black Jesus up there on the billboard like a movie coming out, and he just did that just to do it, to bother them. And then they get 476 acres of land on Eatonton, Georgia, Shadydale Road, and to build pyramids and all sorts of Egyptian stylized joints, monuments. Powerful. So I know there was a conspiracy to destroy the movement, degrade him, demean him, and change the favor that he has earned throughout the years of his contributions to the Black community. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean he didn't do anything. So for me, I always say I would like to believe he didn't do any of it. Do I think he did? I don't think he did, because he didn't even get convicted of molestation. That's why the feds came in and ran a concurrent charge with the state. The state deals with sexual cases. The feds had to come in because the state was losing. And that was illegal in the way that they did it, because they came in the middle of the case and ran a federal case concurrent with the state case because they saw the state was going to lose. See, I kept up with the case. I was part of the legal at one point. You feel me? So the brother wasn't locked up for the sexual charges. He's not doing 135 years because he got caught out there for being a pedophile. They was losing that case. That argument was lost. So the feds came in with the RICO and racketeering and integrated the sexual allegations with a monetary clause, because that's what they can do. And said, well, he had intention to make money off of for sexual pretense and purposes. And also the monies that they found untaxed and things of that nature. And therefore, they was able to get him with the RICO and the racketeering. So for me, the brother played an integral role. You know, people say, hey, Polight's teacher, he did this, that, and the third. Hold on. Are you saying that I read his books because he was a pedophile? And everybody, like, somebody hands you a book. If I hand you a Dr. York book right now, am I supposed to turn around 5 years later after you like the book you read and say, I denounced all the information in there that was accurate because he was accused of this crime? No, I read the Mind book, the Potential book. I read the Mind book, Your Potential, Let's Set the Record Straight, Jesus Found in Egypt, Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, and I believe that those books are very powerful books. I mean, we read books by Europeans all the time who are more than just pedophiles who do demonic things and all sorts of stuff, but at the end of the day, you still read their damn books, and no one says, hey, you read those European books, you too must be guilty of every sin those Europeans did. But here we go with the BS. Yo, you know who his teacher is? This is what people do all the time when they see me getting light on World Star, when they see me getting light on Vlad TV, when they see me getting light on the Breakfast Club. You got people that's going out their way. Hey, you know who his teacher is? Yo, I came into consciousness because he wrote a powerful book called The Mind Book. That was one of the books that I read in my phase as I was starting to reshape my mind and thinking. Gotta give credit where it's due. Whether the man guilty or not, that's a bomb book right there. It really helped me in my path. My wife got me that book. I got the follow-up, Your Potential, and I was doing my thing. It was great. So what I can tell you is, I don't know if he did it. I would like to believe he didn't. I really don't know. What I can say is the evidence that they tried to use to railroad him doesn't have me convinced, but it doesn't mean that he didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's still some gray areas. So I got the right. So people say, man, you straddling the fence. Well, actually, no. Whether he did it or he didn't do it, it doesn't pay my bills. This is what people got to understand.
I think what people think is that you sit at, as the, you know, the symbolic term, sitting at the feet of the master, so to say, as if you were his special.
But that don't mean that I gotta say that everything he says is true, and It doesn't mean that I gotta say he's innocent when I don't know. I never was in that man's bed. All I can see is the people that said the FBI made them say it because they had criminal charges. There's over 10 people that said that. So that makes me feel away. Like, you know what? It's probably not true. But at the same rate, there's other people who didn't say that after they took the stand or was involved. What's their story? So there's reason to doubt. There's reason to doubt. So I got to be sensitive because there's reason to doubt. It doesn't take away from the fact that the man is brilliant. I'm not wired that way where I'm just supposed to agree with everything and anything because this is the man who played a role in my path to consciousness because of some books that he wrote. It ain't that deep for me. People want to pin me down. Nah, you got to say you for or you against. No, I don't. No, I don't. It's not going to make me go to heaven. It's not going to pay my rent. It's not going to send my child to school. It's not going to give anybody in here a degree. I ain't got to take an official stance on if he did or he didn't because truth be told, I don't know. So the best thing I can tell y'all is, I don't know. I would like to believe he didn't. I think that's our honest answer because it's not going to waver anything that I have to do in my personal life right now.
I think you're a pretty smart guy. Personally, I think you're a pretty intelligent brother. And with your intelligence that I think that you have, you know, maybe somebody think I'm half crazy for thinking you're intelligent. Who knows? I think you're an intelligent brother. But with the intelligence I think you have, do you think it is possible that he will ever be released? Is there, because I heard like a story. It's a friend of mine. He has a bookstore. Shout out to the brother be at the flea market. That's my big brother, man. He's an elder, man. He cool, man. He ride with the doc to the end. And he was telling me about that it's something in place for him to possibly be released. And even possible to go to if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in Africa. I forget the country off the top of my head.
Probably Liberia or Ghana.
Yeah. You hear about that?
Yeah, but you know, I'm not part of the legal team right now, so I don't want to speak on anything and misinform people.
Okay. But in your information of it, do you think it's even possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay, cool. All right, why? Next. I
said, why not? It's possible.
All right, so another person says, Brother Polite, you say, I like the Moors. For the purpose of unity, why aren't you a member of the MST of A?
Because because of the politics, you know. I don't know which group to deal with. I mean, Brother Taharka almost got me ready to come in wherever he at.
You know what? I live off this, brother. I tell everybody let's roll, but brother, we need people in every position, and we just need unity more than anything. We need people.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it, but you know, I didn't join the Moors mainly because of the Islam aspect of things. I'll tell you the truth, and right. I like the black man's Islam in America. I like his version, right? Because he got his own version, and I'm not gonna let no one tell me anything different because he has his own version. We got to keep it real. Right. We in America, we do what black people do. We do what the brothers do. We put our spin on whatever we get. That's our soul. So if I was to convert to any form of Islam, it would be the homeboy version. It would be the Moorish or the Nation of the Gods and Earths. It would be one of those versions of Islam I would take on. But I'm not into Islam in a general sense because I believe that it has its inception in African culture and ancient African culture, and a lot of it has been, the true accounts of Islam have been suppressed for the purposes of oppressing us. Now, what parts of Islam that I may disagree with, that may disable me from joining the Moorish community, I don't think it's necessary for me to go into all of that unless somebody says, hey, I'm interested, you know, but I don't think it's that deep, you know. I just rock with the Moors because I like the fact that they're very literate. They push reading, which is very important to me. They also talk about politics. They talk about economics. And I think they do it more at length than everybody else. And that's why I have a higher inclination towards what the Moors teach, because I appreciate their vision for the future. Because I believe if I had to pick, like if I had to pick amongst Hebrew Israelites and I had to pick amongst Moors, and I had to pick amongst, let's say, Nation of Islam, which is tough because I like the Nation of Islam too. And let me take them out the category because I like stuff about them too. If I had to pick amongst the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, who else we got out there? The Masons, right? Okay, I would pick the Moors. If I had to pick a nation, I would pick them. And most times, I would always keep picking the Moors. That's where I stand, because they are talking about establishing body politics. They're talking about nationalizing. They're talking about nationality in general. They know the difference between a citizen subject or subject citizen. Like, they know what it is to be a corporation and how being a corporation can invalidate one's agenda depending on what side of the stage you're on. Those are conversations that are very real and very important to our liberation. They're talking about community development and organizing. We're not going to be able to organize or unite. I don't understand what unity means and represent what other nations say. When people do their red, black, and green spill and kill the cracker, put your feet on their neck energy, when they talk all that talk, that doesn't exactly unify us. It makes us all agree we're angry. Yeah, black power, yeah. Like, you know, we agree we're all angry. And after you rile us up, how can we use that to create a system that we can adhere to? Where's the right? You see, they call the Constitution a living document because it's subject to change. That's why you have amendments. Things get amended, things change. Where is that conversation in the Pan-African Black nationalistic movement? Where is the government? Where's the body politic? Where's the nationality? Where's the assertion or where is the ability for one to identify what their political legal disposition is? Where's that at? If I don't hear it, there's no reason for me to be there because I'm playing pretend, unless that is a stepping stone or one of the first tiers into me getting conscious. But after being conscious for a couple of years,
Max,
I can't keep sitting in these circles and we're not talking about no government. I can't sit in these circles and we talking about overthrowing a government, but we're not talking about creating one of our very own. I can't be in no damn circles like that. That's a waste of my time. I'm a grown man. I got children. You feel me? So even in our household,
that's heavy.
got laws. We got governments. We got hierarchy. In my household, we got that. So what is it that the pro-Black Pan-African movement can offer us other than violent rhetoric? I'm not saying they don't have some good ideas, but we can't run a nation off of calling people names like Cracker and Peckerwood and Beast and Mother Effers and the B word and calling everyone coons. Because after all of that, we run out of gas and we have nothing to offer the people.
That's right, bro.
So the reason why I like the Moors is because I feel they're going in the right direction because they're talking about organization. They're talking about voting. And if not with no one else, at least amongst each other. They're talking about having their own temples. Ain't nothing wrong with the temple. We always had spiritual abodes or institutions where we can convene. We always had legally constituted law.
You're more polite. You're talking that Taharka Bey talk. Brother, when you got off last night, that's what I was talking about. That I'm not stressing nobody to wear a turban or fez throughout their life and all that, but we need a ground zero to plan, strategize, and execute, and that's what the temple is for. People say, but the temple should teach civics, but the temple should teach civics, spirituality, nationality. We should teach everything. Oh, but polite, somebody call you Polite Bey.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. I got love for you. So, that's why you don't never hear me attacking the Moorish community, because I want to be part of the attack of something that we can use to our advantage. Now, is there much dissension? True. But an intelligent man can still get what he can get from everybody that's part of the whole makeup of the community and get the general sense of the ideals that's necessary. So I appreciate those are brothers. And you know what? I appreciate all the other brothers and sisters as part of the community too, because we need them. We need the people to rile us up and get us angry. But the angry Black men that's part of the pro-Black, Pan-African, Black nationalistic community, as they may identify themselves as one or two out of three or all the above, they got to understand to let the brothers who understand government have their role. They can't just keep calling people coons and Uncle Toms, Sambos, and all the other derogatory names, because they don't understand the terminologies that's being used to facilitate very important parts of our deliberation. They think we just like using these tricky ass words, but these words have been used to trick you. So we're trying to pull the wink off of you, pull the hoodwink off of you, so to speak, and wake you up. So again, though I may not have joined any of the Moorish communities, I definitely see them as allies, if nothing else, because they are going in a direction that I agree with. Politics, economics, nationality. Ask a brother. This has been going on for years. Ask your local pro-Black, Pan-African, Black nationalistic brother or sister. What's their nationality? I don't give a damn about no nationality. They're going to go into this whole craziness. Now, it's a damn shame everyone else on the planet can tell you who they are and from which they came.
You in there? Hey, Polite gonna be Grand Chic, man. How about to get you some papers, man?
It's just real. Everybody can tell you who they are, and from that theme, from that nationality, comes the history of their government, their culture, the edifices that they erected that corresponds with their belief system. From saying something as powerful as asserting what your nationality is, comes a whole lot of other things. One of the greatest implications that we suffer the consequence of in the American community and worldwide is that the so-called Black man can't tell you what his nationality is. He'll go into a bunch of rhetoric about how the white man don't care about that. I'm not talking about the white man. I'm asking you, do you know who you are? Separate and different from all the damn religions and institutions that have been erected. Can you say who you are that can trace you back to your foremothers and your forefathers? And can it be legitimized legally for the sake of being identified as a body politic so you can interface with other nations around the world? Can you?
Bro,
and if you can, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Bro, Polite.
You should be ashamed of yourself if you can't.
It's a brother that tell me like, "Oh, you in there now?" Shout out to Evazil. He always say, "Oh, you in there now? You in there now, Mo?" So, brother, I appreciate that answer. I think anybody with information can appreciate that answer. And some people gonna be mad at you for that anyway. So you can prepare for that anyway.
Those are the ignorant people, brother, because we gonna keep dancing around the subject matter. But at the end of the day, if you're not speaking government, if you're not speaking about organizing to the point we have some kind of political party, if you just cursing out everybody that got more power than you from one year to the next, and you're not showing us nothing other than your arguments, what we gonna do with you?
Absolutely.
See, if the Moors can be 20 deep, but they will have a better opportunity succeeding 20 deep than to have hundreds of people all cursing out the white man who got no vision or no mission. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you don't ask everyone in the community to go into legislature and say, okay, let's put the laws and the rules and the ordinances together. No, you get those who are qualified amongst you to convene, and then they precipitate the events that later on lead to the way or the direction that the people go in. So we're not asking the whole community to do that, but if the leadership isn't responsible enough to say, hey, that's not our forte, all they got to do is say, look, I don't deal with all that law stuff. That's what you guys do. Then let's put it all together. Let's put the guys who say they want to fight, and let's see, when we talk about setting up government, we can do that in real time. When these brothers talking about killing the cracker, they never do it in real time. So do something in real time with us instead of selling us dreams, because you like trying to motivate me to kill the cracker. Then when we seen our young brothers do it this year, you know, we say, damn, that's messed up. Ain't nobody take care of their family. Ain't nobody taking care of their children. But you see, if we put government in place, then we start talking about having insurance. Now we're talking about military. You see, you can't have a damn military without a government. And if you want to go to war, you got to have funding. So you got to have an economy. You still got to get into that fold. This is what we talk about when we talk about nationality. We're not talking this crazy shit. Yo, the only thing you understand is bloodshed. And who exactly is going to go to war? A bunch of disorganized Negroes? Body politic before we can facilitate any kind of warfare. You can't just have people at random angry and wanting to shoot. It don't work like that.
Hey, that sound like one of them lines in one of them raps. I said, Silly said he be yelling, he do a whole lot of cussing, he be talking all loud and ain't saying nothing. He tell you bang on the beats, but he don't bang in the streets. He bang on the mic and charge you for a seat. That's what he do. Hey, brother, this is a question I know you can handle real good. This is from my big brother, my good brother, my young brother, actually, Moorish World. He said, ask him about the connection between status correction and real estate.
Well, I'll tell you this. Status correction would be a misnomer for what we call in New Covenant the Crown Doctrine. Idealistically, because that's what a person is doing, is making an adjustment in their political legal disposition. So we would like to refer to what people call oftentimes status correction, the Crown Doctrine. Simply when it comes to us, I cannot speak for everybody else. But as I said before, when it comes, can you hear me?
Yeah. You good?
As I said before, when it comes to buying a property, most people, when they purchase a property, they get what's called a tenancy deed, which means they don't own the property outright. That's one. And in turn, what you want to do is establish a perfected claim on your property. It's a form of a lien. It's a first-in-time lien before someone else establishes a lien on the property in the form of a mortgage. When a person establishes a perfected claim, you diffuse the presumption of the item sonus. In this particular case, or regard, what we're saying is that when a person or institution in particular, person meaning corporation, when I say person, okay, or entity or legal person, still corporation. So when a legal person or entity, such as a bank, sells you over a property, they sell you a property under a conditional interest. This is illegal. But of course, they will be selling you this property under the presumption of the item sonus. What is the presumption? That you are a debtor. And according to UCC 9-105 in parentheses D, a debtor can only conditionally own property. This means that they're selling you property under the pretense that they have the right to have other people invest in your debt obligation unbeknown to you. That's illegal. That's called the condition. The conditional interest is illegal. Yet at the same time, if you don't rectify the matter, then on to be said that it was legal in a sense, because you never rectified, you never gave remedy, you never identified the fact that what they're doing is wrong. So what we do to nullify that is establish our own perfected claim on the property, which is a form of a lien, before they establish a lien on the property that we're looking to purchase. This is what you later call having a fee simple relationship with your property. You can look up the term fee simple. I'm not making up any of these terms. The fee simple relationship with your property is reminiscent to that of an allodial title. An allodial title is the title or ownership as it relates to a country when they own property. Fee simple is very similar, only thing is in an individual's capacity, not a country or nation's capacity. Very similar. When you have a fee simple relationship with your property, in common law, that relationship that you have with your property as far as ownership is concerned, having established a perfected claim, renders onto the property it being what's called a crown. So when you own a property without conditional interest, it's called a crown. Who wears a crown? Who has a crown? A sovereign person has a crown, a king or a queen. When this is what I have in my sovereign Bible, 2012stores.com. Got a whole book on it written in scripture form, because we have to make religion out of our economics. People take that out of context every time when I say money's my religion. But I'm like, the same conviction and zeal that we have to be into the spiritual institutions and chicken wing and call on the Holy Spirit, we should have the same zeal that we have religiously, economically, to liberate ourselves, our family, and our community, and those thereof. So when you establish a perfected claim, and in turn have a fee simple relationship with your property, what winds up happening is the property in common law would be identified as a crown, and that would represent the fact that you have established officially a staple or a marketplace, because you have true ownership of your asset. Again, the property would be rendered in common law a crown. That's synonymous with having a fee simple relationship with your property. Also another term, they call me head of the crown in our community. It just means I'm sovereign. Sovereign in what capacity? That I actually own assets free of condition. That's why they call me head of the crown, illustrious supreme grand perception of our new covenant community. But the term head of the crown, I didn't make that up either. I don't make these things up. It's just an ancient term and euphemism for sovereignty. The word sovereignty has such a negative connotation, I'd rather head of the crown. Because in that, I can have to educate people. I have the opportunity to educate people on what it means to represent. You say sovereign and people think they know what you're talking about. You say status correction, people think they know what you're talking about. When we talk about a status correction, which we render as a crown doctrine, because the term status correction is tainted, all we're talking about is the ability for one to embark upon the acquisition of property whereby they have no condition to the terms and they own it outright by a fee simple relationship, which is synonymous with the common law term crown, thus rendering you royalty, because royalty owns their property without a condition. Sovereign, the sovereign owns property, right? Because it's no condition there. So if the property is considered a crown, when New Covenant says that we're sovereign, we're saying, oh, I'm sovereign because I own my property outright. That's all we mean when we say sovereign. We don't mean the other stuff that people are talking about. I understand the active states and the bonds and the $1 billion liens and all that. I understand all that stuff they're talking about. We're not talking about that. Our membership, strongest conviction, is to own property outright, to buy some property with no intention to use it other than for the equitable purposes of owning it. So if ever they got into a situation, they would be able to take monies out based on the equity of the property. New Covenant members, by way of what we call transposition lien methodology, that's New Covenant culture, the manner in which we marry our women. We may buy, hey, an empty ass lot and sign it over to the woman as a form of dowry, so to speak. Why? Because that empty lot that I may have bought at a tax deed auction for $2,200 may be worth $18,000. Someone say, man, he just gave me a landfill. But, you know, what you got me that for? Because if ever she got into an issue, she can pull out a home equity line of credit. It's called a HELOC. And if she has good credit, she could pull out as much as 70% of the equity of the property out. So let's say it's a $20,000 that I got at a tax deed auction for $3,000. And I say, I'm signing this off to you to just show you I take this relationship serious. Let's say that her credit is not that good, so she can only get 60% of the $20,000. Then that'll suffice, because on every 10%, that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. She still can get $12,000 out of the property through a home equity line of credit, which would take place relatively in the same day to give you a card that represents the amount equal to the property. So that's just a form, that's just leveraging a relationship, having a projection in terms of the future, saying, hey, if we separate, at least understand this. This is what I do have to offer you. And that's just economics. So our brothers are trained to be able to give you something that is of value. Okay, so in the event that the man and the woman should separate, you have an opportunity to still make do in light of the separation, because a man should never separate and leave his woman handicapped. See, it goes real deep. So this thing that we call the status correction, which in our community we refer to as the Crown Doctrine, that's what it means it represents in our community, and that is its connection to mortgage. Its connection to mortgage, when new covenant members are speaking, we're simply saying you have to turn your property into a crown by properly owning it outright. Your first crown, hopefully you have it, or it is rendered on to your wife as a form of dowry, so to speak. If not that, your second one should be there in preparation for when you get a wife, so you could turn it over to her. To say, if we separate, at least you have this. And the property doesn't have to be a home someone lives in, but it could be something that just has equitable purpose, so she is not an economic slave or burdened or handicapped in light of a separation.
So let me ask you a question. Do you
say it again?
Do you pay taxes on the property once you buy it right out?
Yeah, not a lot, but it all depends. Different properties, different scenarios, different situations, different jurisdictions. But yeah.
Cool. That's cool. So last one on the property thing for Moorish High. So if you get a mortgage, he says, so if you get a mortgage, hold up, I'm double talking myself with this feedback. So if you get a mortgage, you can cancel your mortgage by doing a perfect thing and own it right out without a fight?
No, it's the manner in which you would purchase the property, whether you use a UCC title insurance company. I said title insurance company, not a UCC filing, a UCC title insurance company. Or you turn around and you say, you know what? Purchase a property outside the medium of a financial institution.
All right.
I got some company going downstairs. It's the brothers and them. They was with Gucci Mane earlier.
Okay.
Just go down there and tell them.
So brother gave us plenty of time. I got a few more questions. Some of these questions. Let me get you with this one. Oh, someone say, how do you feel about Tommy Sotomayor?
How I feel about it?
People to shoot black people.
If he says something like that, I disagree with that, of course.
Okay. Oh, who do you pray to under? No, first of all, what is your spiritual foundation? Who do you pray to under?
I guess one question at a time would suffice, but I'm gonna listen to all your questions first, and then I just want to roll them out.
I get up out here, and I just copied and pasted a whole list. And
I like the questions, brother. I actually want you to come to I Am Brother Polite so we can talk about some nation building.
Absolutely, I'm coming. You know I'm coming, brother. You know you can slide me the link and I'm there. So look, what is your spiritual system for your family that you follow?
Okay, ask me the other questions. I just gotta tell my guests something that's coming up. What's my spiritual system? Who do I pray to? What else is going on?
Yes. What spiritual system do you follow? And do you pray? If so, who do you pray to?
Okay, I'm with it.
Or what you pray to? I add that. And the end was, is it the same as the Lord's Prayer in the Bible? I'm gonna leave that out.
The Lord's Prayer. What? Behold, Now you talking about Psalms 133? What they talking about?
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. They say it's the same as the Lord's Prayer. But basically, what is your spiritual system, and do you pray? And if so, who or what do you pray to?
Our spiritual system in New Covenant is Kuina Akwunu. That means spiritual economics. Because whether we can conduct earthly transactions and or spiritual transactions through good deeds. To pick activity. So it's Kuina Akwunu.
Do you believe in the infinite being?
I don't know what that means. I need you to elaborate on that. What that mean?
Do you believe that you're created from a source that you may not be able to articulate or put in words? Do you believe that you have a origin beyond I'm trying to put it in words. Do you have an origin beyond what the physical eye can see or what the brain can conceive?
And do I believe in it? I want you to say it one more time so I could.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that there's a greater creator than yourself that created you? Or created? Of
course, I believe in a greater. Of course, I believe in a greater creator than myself. She's called my mother.
Okay.
And myself that created me would be my mother.
Okay, from the beginning of time on.
Close to that is the women that I'm around right now that bore my children. So, and the only thing close to that are the children that are able to give birth to children one day in their adulthood. So,
I guess what they're trying to say is, and this is a.
Hold on, real quick. Somebody wrote, hard question, polite. Spiritual economics didn't create you. First of all, this is two different questions, so pay attention. You can actually rewind this and pay attention. I don't get the luxury of rewinding because I'm doing this live. When asked about what spiritual system that I use, I called it Kuina Akwunu. That was one question. Now he's asking another question. Separate them. I didn't say Kuina Akwunu can create me. I said that's the spiritual foundation. And if you listen to early on in the interview, I said we have to be as zealous about, as religiously zealous, growing our wealth as we are or have been as a community when it comes to religion, practicing religion. So I said I've made money my religion. But that is in the respect that we're talking about using the same zeal and conviction that we have to worship an unknown God that someone indoctrinated us about. Use that same zeal to study like we study them scriptures. Use that same zeal to study economics and politics and to grow wealth and sustain our families and our communities. In the interim of it all, create organizations that establish viable means for us to thrive. Just elaborating on it in more detail. The most interesting thing about religious people that I find, they tend to be the most disrespectful, short attention span people on planet Earth.
Don't say that. People, I'm religious, but like, what are you doing? I'm right here. I can hear you.
No, in my personal encounters, not yours. In my personal encounters, the most disrespectful people I've ever encountered happen to be religious people when they find out I don't agree with their stance or I don't agree with their disposition. They just can't let it go. But no, they can't just say brother disagrees. They gotta call you heathens, they gotta call you devils, they gotta say you sacrifice your children to the Illuminati because you went Hollywood. They gotta say all these things, but they could never just simply say, okay, brother, can I ask you a question? Or let me part my way in peace. That's what I'm talking about. So you gotta ask me more questions, but the being than me that created me will have to be my mother.
What do you feel about just getting to the point? You can chop this up as you want. Where do you feel as though that all things in existence come from? Let's put it like that.
Yo, let me get your call-in number for the chat. Somebody's asking me to call in.
I gotta look for it. Give me 1 second. Hey, bro.
Come on, old school. You sounded all young rapping. What's up with that?
It's 443. I got it.
Yeah.
It's 443-869-2517.
29?
869-2517. 869-2517. Now, I guess, you know, people want to know what is your religious grounding or what is your...
I don't mind. I'm tactfully dealing with one question at a time.
Are you an atheist or do you believe in origin of man being created?
Okay, let me tell you. Oh, do you want the brother to get in the live stream chat? I don't know how much time you have.
Who the brother?
This is Michael Edwards who hit me up.
Oh yeah. Michael Edwards, he can get in the chat, but don't come on with this. This is about don't try to bogart the interview, Michael Edwards, with that stuff he do sometimes.
I'm gonna call him right now and see if he want the actual email.
Peace and love, Edwards. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? You still on the air?
I'm still on the air, my brother. Brother Polite was going to send you the link, but I was trying to get some of these questions done. So if you come in, you're going to have to hold tight because I need to get these questions done, my brother. How you doing?
Okay, yeah, that's good because I'm riding around. So yeah, I'll hold on.
All right.
Okay. So he's going to stay on the phone then.
You want to stay on the phone?
Yeah, I'll stay here if you want.
Hold up. What you had some questions or something?
What? No, really, I just wanted to call in and just, you know, talk to you, brother, and, you know, tell you that I love you, man, and I appreciate what you're doing, and even reaching out with the light on this here.
Well,
you know.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that I love you too, brother, and this is a love fest, and I got your friend in the chat. I got Big Brother Israel Doctrine in the chat right now. He been hey Mike, he been good today. He ain't talking crazy. I don't have the Moorish vanguards chopping his head off. So my brother is doing good. We done made up too. So man, is he doing good? And he can get off the couch now. No, I'm playing. Hey, that's brother Michael Edwards on the phone. But brother Polite, man, come on, brother Michael Evans. You got something to ask brother Polite. You got come on, man. You didn't heard all the stories too. When on the spaceship, he came back and he was talked to by George Jetson. You got something to ask this brother. Come on, brother. Don't be bashful.
Come on.
You know, this is my friend. I call Polite my friend, man, and I appreciate the brother. And I was, you know, the second reason I was calling in is to talk to him about the Vlad interview, which I finally got to see the whole thing. Vlad put up the whole thing, and I really appreciate the brother's evolution and his maturity. And I wanted, you know, I was puzzled about a specific part of it, about the family issue, your growth, and you know the adversity was with the in-house thing with your family and whatnot. And I'm not, that's, you know, if you want to let out just that amount or any more, but I'm pretty sure the people would love to hear that. And I think that's a great transparent part of your life that, you know, speaks about your testimony, man, and your evolution. So, you know, that was pretty much my only question for the day for the brother, because you know, we talk. And
what question is that in particular? I'm not sure what question in particular you have.
I didn't say it again, brother.
He said, what exactly was the question? Straight to the question. About
yeah.
What was the tension between your family and the Nuwapian issues with the business separation and the case and all of that? If there's any part you willing to elaborate on, because I know that's sensitive, but you know.
In terms of the Vlad interview? Oh, it's just the sensitivity behind what I got locked up for, because I was accused of that one day. They accused me of murder, but then they switched it to attempted murder. That I was accused of shooting and all that other stuff that led me to get locked up. It happened during the time when I was in that community, and his relation to the teacher. So it was a lot of drama. You know, we moved on and we moved past all of that. But that was the issue. The issue was, you know, I have a relationship with the teacher's daughter. I'm accused of attempting to murder somebody in her family. And then I'm dealing with the organizational foe. So It was rough. It was a rough situation, but we made it through. You know, wifey good, everybody good. You know, I'm glad that some years behind us, but that was part of my happy and woes during that time. But I'm good. You know, that's as far as that goes. It just was the sensitivity behind so many people being related to each other or having certain types of relationships with each other. Wow, the nature of the charges and me getting locked up and all the other stuff. That's what caused a lot of the conflict.
Hey,
right on, man.
Hey,
so I appreciate that evolution, brother, because it's a great example. To people that endure that every day, to let them know that that's not the end. Those bars, that jail bars, that stigma, that lifestyle is not the end. So great. You know, I appreciate that, man.
Michael Edwards, before you go, brother, can I get you on the show one day, man? I got a nice little lineup coming up, but can I get you on the show? Who is Michael Edwards? Man, I want y'all to go to Michael Edwards on YouTube, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, he makes some funny videos. I'm trying to tell you. I'm waiting for him to critique me. I don't want no trouble, Mike. Don't you do that to me.
You know, laughter is a medicine.
Hey, boy. You did one on Israel doctrine. Oh, let me stop. Anyway, this is about polite. I gotta go. Hey, bro, Mike, I'm gonna talk to you soon, my brother. But I tell people to go to check out Michael Edwards. Oh my goodness, that little 15 minutes with that iPhone will have you laughing all day. I'm trying to tell you. That was a little shot. That's a little shot.
Thank you for that plug, brother.
Absolutely. Peace and love, family.
Peace and love, Polite.
So anyway, we got a brother on the line.
Let me do this again, because somebody wrote, is there a specific God that you pray to, or is spiritual economics the entity that you pray to? These are weird questions. How the heck am I going to pray to spiritual economics? People make things so difficult when I'm involved. And then they say I'm talking over people's heads. Now I think they're talking under my feet. I don't understand what this is. I'm not trying to be slick, my brother, just wanting clarity. I don't pray to spiritual economics. It is a system that we have that drives us with the conviction to be zealous in every opportunity presented to us, and the ones we have to create in order to better be able to sustain our family, our organizations, and our community at large. That is the structure of spiritual economics. To go a bit further, it entails common customs, which is a calculus system that precipitates culture by process of differentiation and integration. We're able to find the value of smaller things and factorials to those equivalents, thus granting us the least adverse effects from the decisions that we make. Having a calculative system that precipitates culture. Culture is the subconscious mind of the people that protects them from the next decisions that they will make because their forefathers and their foremothers have already experienced events, checked out the permutations and said, our community can do without this, but they definitely need that. But these two things in combination don't work out together. So we're going to pick one or the other. And every generation should be commissioned, looking for the things that they have to take out or add on based on the era to improve or advance their culture or civilization. Spiritual economics. It's a whole science that was created that entails economics and politics. Aggressively engage this science.
Well,
like our life depend on it.
I like that.
Worship in the religious institutions. That's called Kuina Akwunu in New Covenant.
I like that, brother. So that they went back to it. Who created all this? And then we moving on. What? What's
all of this?
The universe, you, the beginning of humanity, whatever. Everything in existence.
They get upset. But then they ask me these questions like I created every damn thing. So now you're going to have to listen to my answer. I would accredit consciousness for everything that we see around us. That's it. I don't have no specific entity that I believe is responsible for. Early on, you asked me if I was an atheist. I don't mind being acknowledged as an atheist so long as the word isn't being taken out of context. It really means. Let me look it up to make sure I don't make a mistake. Since I do have a dictionary right here, just to be specific. A person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of God or gods. Let's do that. So I am an atheist by definition, but don't implicate me like I'm some devil worshiper, like I'm drinking blood and fornicating like a nut. Like, no. It says a person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of gods or gods. One more time, a person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of God or gods. That's an atheist. I lack the belief. I don't believe it's been proven to me yet. Show me a religion that I agree with outright and openly. You see, religion will give me a Bible and say, God is responsible for this book. I'll read things in that book and be like, well, if God is responsible for this book, then I can't believe in that God, because I don't think the God that I would worship would go this direction. Next, God's responsible for this Quran right here. Okay, I read something in there, I don't like it, or I see something taking place. I don't think my God would do that. I'm not down with that. Cool. Give me another God. They give me the Buddhist joint. Yo, this is dope. Very powerful concepts. But I don't think it really fits my mold. So I haven't found something that I believe that a creator took the time out to transmit to the rest of the world. Suddenly, man didn't intervene and mix his reservations up with it. So until then, I'm in a state of disbelief.
I think a lot of time, brother.
I haven't met a God presentation, a corpus that represents what God thinks and what he wants of us. I haven't met one.
Brother, I'm gonna take
scripture that I can.
I'm gonna take you in the chamber and get you, because I was a hard sell on Moorish science myself. I doubted everything, but once I understood the esoteric value of it, that's when I really got it. You know, I don't believe in the spooky stuff. That ain't my thing. But
I'm down with that. But I believe personally that if there's a God, he still will have to deal with us, not just from a subjective level, but from an objective level. That if that should be true, then objectively, none of us can have the same exact God. No two people can have the same exact God. That's just how I look at it in this world. And if that's the case, then it's just consciousness. Right. I don't know any children brought into this world that already know what's already in the books that they're going to be taught later on to become the members of the organizations or societies that God had a hand in the information. When I see a baby learn how to walk and talk and break down the information and teach everybody about the contents of one of the scriptures that already pre-existed their life, I'll be sold. And still, I may not call that God, but I'll be sold. You connected to something. But it stands to reason everything we can argue about right now, we had to be taught first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Correct.
However, the first person has to himself actually acknowledge. The first person has to acknowledge some supernatural qualities of things around them and within themselves in order to impart it to somebody else.
Well, I don't disagree with what you said, but that doesn't mean that the God of a specific scripture is an accurate account of what that God believes and thinks.
I think it's misunderstood, personally. I think it's very misunderstood.
No doubt. And no two people are going to have the same understanding of anything so long as it's been written and conveyed to the masses. Correct?
I got a brother on hold. Brother, y'all know brother POLIGHT can go on for days.
I'm with it, bro. So all I'm saying is, real quick before you get that, brother.
Brother POLIGHT, I had a brother on hold. He's been on hold patiently waiting.
Hold on for a few more minutes. This is good. Hold on.
Man, I keep telling you, brother. Tell somebody. I said, man, it's gonna be a hard interview because both of us can talk.
No doubt. Now hold on, brother. It's all right. You got my attention. I'm on the show now. We starting to cook. You gotta let me get it in.
Go ahead, brother.
So what I'm saying is, I never have a problem with a brother or sister that tells me about their Allah, tells me about their Yahweh ben Yahweh, or tells me about their God or their Christ. The only conflict comes in when they try to impose their belief on me. Objectively, if that's what they focus on to make them a better person, who am I to try to make them disassociate themselves from that which they accredit to their own development or growth? They're entitled to that. I believe a person's God is their own personal experience. And everyone's going to have their own personal experience. Mine's, because of the level of consciousness that I'm dealing with, it doesn't mean it's higher than yours or lower than yours. the level of consciousness that I have assessed. If I do not let you know that I'm in a space where I cannot objectify or the infinite or the eternal, omnipresent, omnipotent being that many refer to as God, I'm in a space where I feel it'd be egotistical to give human attributes an entity that should be incorporeal. I believe that human beings anthropomorphize and personify God in different accounts to process the information when the information looks like you. But when we get past that veil, we no longer need the information to have eyes, nose, and lips just like us, or to materialize before us for everyone to be a witness. We can just simply deal with it subjectively first before it materialized. And in that respect, we would just be talking about consciousness and how consciousness is facilitated through different organisms for the purposes of collecting an account to the contrapositive. And what I mean by that is awareness being aware of itself will cause a collision that offsets materialization, which brings matter into account from plasma. See, I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. I could be completely wrong, but I'm entitled to that. I ain't gonna go to hell for it. I would have to believe in it in the first place for me to be condemned to it. This is the world that I'm in. I'm in that world, so I'm very free. I'm not stressed out walking up and down. I do it what it feels to suffice, what I feel is suffice to do. You know, Jay-Z says something real powerful in the Freemason song. You know, one thing he said in one of the other songs was, and this thing was deep. What did he say in one of these songs? He said, I promised mama I never changed, but I would have remained the same had I promised mama I never changed, but I would have went insane had I remained the same me. And I say, you know what? That's deep, because Negroes is always trying to stop you from evolving from one space of thought to another. So people say, yo, but brother, you came into this person's information. Yeah, I was entitled to that at that point in time. But now I'm somewhere else mentally. You feel me? And then Jay-Z, I'm looking for the bars right now, but he said something real powerful. He was saying to a certain effect, he would have never been able to succeed had he not sinned. And I know this sounds like devilment to a lot of people out there. You know? I know a lot of people like, yo, that's some devil stuff you're talking about. But guess what? It is coming up right now. I'm looking for the words.
And let me
hold on. He says this. Rumors of Lucifer, I don't know who to trust. Whole world want to turn the music up. Hear me clearly. If y'all niggas fear me, just say y'all fear me. Fuck all these fairy tales. Go to hell. This is God engineering. This is a Hail Mary pass. Y'all interfering. He without sin shall cast the first stone, so y'all look in the mirror. Double check your appearance. Bitch, I said I was amazing. Not that I was a Mason. It's amazing that I made it through the maze that I was in. Lord, forgive me. I never would have made it without sin. You see me right here? If I deal with religion, I'm not going to get a lot accomplished. When he says, bitch, I said that I was amazing. Not that I was a Mason. It's amazing that I made it through the maze that I was in. Lord, forgive me. I would have never made it without sin. Lord, forgive me. I never would have made it without sin. That right there, you can't get nothing accomplished, because in someone's perspective, your good is someone else's bad. Your heaven is someone else's hell. So wherever I get binding or religio or religious, wherever I decide to be religious, to go where I gotta go because of all these little rules and nuances that they put on it, and then people's interpolations of the interpretations. Without law, I agree with law. I agree with statutes and commandments. I agree with all that. All the other stuff that they throw into that mix creates the type of confusion where only a few people can succeed, and the only people that's going to succeed most times are going to look like the devil. Okay, that's what we do. Whenever a black man is successful, we say, man, he had to brown nose that white man or somebody to make it there. You know why? Because businessmen and businesswomen.
Well,
see, I had to learn to cut off some of my friends. Not even some, damn near everybody, to get where I had to go. That's the only sacrifice I made. I ain't have to kill nobody. I had to separate myself from people. Self an opportunity. And then what do? They reveal themselves. And all people do after that is say what they did for you, but never what they did to you.
Well, Brother Polite, we in the Moorish Scientific of America, we believe things like man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed, that man reaches lowest depth to reach his highest height. So we can attribute that to be going to left before you go right, that a soldier never knows his strength till he meets his foe, which means you have to have that opposition. You have to overcome that opposition in order to raise. It says that the higher self goes up, the lower self go down. But we find ourselves in the lower self many times before we even raise to the higher self. We dwell in that. We love it sometimes. You know, we love the murky evils of the flesh, as it says in more signs. So what you're saying is basically a universal thing, that we normally go left before we go right. It happens. It is what it is. That we would never know right if we didn't know wrong. We have to see it, experience it, or something. So yes, sometimes success is not a success without the opposition of desperation. It is what it is.
You know what? I think we should take this to my channel.
Hold up, brother. I got a brother on the phone.
You getting too much juice, brother.
No. I got a brother on the phone, brother. What I'm saying is, what I'm going to do but see, when you talk, Brother Polite, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a universal approach from a more science perspective. You know, that
let's have that conversation tomorrow. You going to be free tomorrow?
If you say you couldn't make it without sin, I'm saying that the lower self is strong in the heart of man.
All right, look, I'm going to answer that for you. But question: are you going to be available tomorrow around this time?
I got a show tomorrow around this time, brother. I got one more show. It's scheduled.
See how you use me? You see how you use me?
Hey, brother, let's do it on Thursday.
Thursday?
I got a scheduled show tomorrow.
All right, Thursday it is.
Yeah, man. And I think the show is going to be with my brothers from Marrakesh. If they watching today, yeah, I'm going to call you, brother, and we're going to talk about Marrakesh. Marrakesh is a group of brothers that I disagree with some of that doctrine. But we're not going to have a drag down. We're going to have an intellectual conversation tomorrow about science. Speaking of that,
let's go back to your sin, because I'm telling you that they really won't make it without sin from the perspective of the person that sin may be.
Brother, I'm just saying that the lower self is strong. You can call it sin. You can call it the lower self. Some may call it the devil, Satan, Lucifer, dragon, beast. They can call it all of these lower vibrations. But the lower self is strong in the heart of man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And those things will manifest. And when they manifest, it's up to you to overcome that. All human beings have this. All human beings. And it starts in a place that you can't see.
See, people want to see this topic, brother. They want to see us go in on this topic. We need to talk this.
Let me get my brother on the phone. Let me get my
go ahead, get that, brother. But you need to
talk, man. Polite.
Then it's there ain't no such thing as sin. You do what it suffices to survive. How you gonna tell a man that's in the trenches that got absolutely nothing?
Okay.
If you don't protect his life, that's a sin.
Hey, brother, listen to what I'm saying. Don't put sin in the box of what you understand it. What I mean by sin is something that does not advance you. Something
that's what I'm saying. Now look. Now hold on. Let's go to the meaning real quick. Act considered to be a transgression against divine law. The word divine is where all the speculations come from. This is all perspective.
Law? Do you believe in natural?
Do I believe in
natural? Something that's natural, like a man and a woman is natural, right? A man and a woman being together, intercourse as a unit is natural, as opposed to homosexuality, which is the natural. The man and the woman, right?
from my heterosexual perspective, of course, men and women together is natural. Okay. But then how do you tell the, I was going to say the supernatural, but how do you tell the unnatural that they're not natural when they're doing what they believe to be organic as well? That's what I'm saying, it's perspective.
Because no, it's not perspective. Because in order, for example, in order to be a homosexual, you have to commit a sexual act. You know, in the sexual act is penises in the buttocks, or a woman facing off with a woman below. This is a homosexual act.
Hold on.
So the natural function of a anus is for poop. You know what I mean? So when we outside the natural function of something, then we got to conclude that that's unnatural. Bottom line. Can't dance around that. That's not perspective. That's fact.
It is perspective, and let me explain something to you. It's perspective based on the
what's the natural function of an eye?
Hey, let me answer. It's perspective, and you see you got your man on the phone now, you want to talk to me. Now it's perspective.
I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
Don't worry. That's your man. It's perspective. It's perspective based on the culture that controls the narrative. That's what I'm telling you. If the culture has a narrative, their perception of what is organic, their perspective of what is natural becomes the natural law, the rules of engagement, and anyone outside of that subscription is going to...
You can't say natural law, brother. You're trying to change. That's not perspective. Natural is natural. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance,
we can talk to homosexual right now, and he ain't gonna get it. You know why?
That's not. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you and I. We're talking about you and I. What is natural for an anus? To poop, to excrete.
I totally agree. But you have heterosexuals that put their penis in an anus.
But listen, we can deal with that. That's unnatural. I'm talking about Brother Polite. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about Brother Polite. I'm asking, is there a natural order to things?
Based on the edict that I subscribe to.
There is that's what I'm talking about, you and I. I ain't talking about anybody else. You and I.
Hold on. Let me get this. The name of the game is this. See how much people you can convert to your perspective. That's what Planet Earth is about, bro.
I agree.
See how many people you can convert to your perspective so you can decide on what is law. That's how this works. And so far, the Bible.
Universal approach. I want you, see if you and I can agree, that puts us on the same thing. Is there a universal, natural way to function on the planet Earth, according to Brother Polite, not according to other people?
Okay, go ahead. I cannot say there's a universal, that's stretching it. But what I will say is there are universal laws, but that's how the planets move around each other. But when we start talking about human beings and our social experiences and engagements, I can't tell you that there's a global natural law, because for that I would have to give you a global consensus, and people will not agree from parts of the world. Like, hold on, stop. Let me show you. What is the youngest age? Don't tell me America's law either. This is how you're gonna get caught out there. Now it's gonna be a tricky question.
No.
Tricky question. You can't handle this. How young? Watch this. You scared? Watch this.
Come on with it.
I got a foresight of how your face is about to look before I even ask the question. And I'm gonna screenshot your face.
More like me. You ain't never met a more like me. Let's go.
I'm gonna screenshot your face when you ask the question. Hold on, I'm getting ready. All right, go ahead. So, what is, watch this, people, watch this. Since there's a natural law, what is the oldest age that a man can be with a young lady?
Okay.
Now, and I need to know, do you agree with America's law? Because all the states aren't the same, because some states make it legal for you to be with a 17-year-old. Some states say it's illegal, you got to be 18. I don't want to ask you about America. I want to ask you more. Where in your Moorish doctrine? Hold on.
Ask me again. Hold on. I want you to ask me the specific question.
Yes, where in your Moorish doctrine does it tell you what is the natural age that the man can be to be with a young lady? Is there any stipulation anywhere where I can look it up?
No. There is no stipulation there in the Moorish
Doctrine. No problem. Now I'm gonna ask you, because now we don't got no natural law for this, because there's no consensus, first of all.
Okay.
Now I'm asking you, how old is too old, and how young is too young? How old can a man be to deal with a young lady, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think a young lady have to be of mature age, at least, this is my opinion, of 18 to 21. And the man,
screenshot your face.
Let me finish. And I believe that the man should be of equal age due to the fact, I think that a young lady can be taken advantage of for all the wrong reasons. Older man. That's just my opinion. But there is no, like you said, it depends on the culture too.
No, we staying here. You ain't getting out of here. A man is 20 years old.
Right.
How young can his girlfriend be? In your opinion?
No, in my opinion,
America's rules.
No, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, I think they should be in the same age, neighborhood, 19, 20. That's my opinion. Facts.
So you living by that standard?
Huh?
So if you have a son that's 20 years old, you're gonna tell him, son, you only can have women that's only 19 or 21. How does that work?
That's how I would raise my son. I was raising my son to do that because I don't believe that a 13 or 14-year-old is ready for the emotional, the intellectual. I don't believe that. So I believe
if your son is 20 years old and he meets him a 17-year-old girl, in your opinion, he doesn't have the right to have that relationship?
No, he has the right to do whatever he wants. But I would persuade him, first and foremost, bro, you better get your education, get your money right.
Now, we know all of that.
Secondly, I would say, no, I would not, listen, I would discourage it.
Why?
I would discourage it.
Why?
Because I think there is an imbalance there. I believe.
Okay, now let me ask you this.
I think that's in my opinion. I think that there's
okay. Now here goes the doozy. We flip the roles now. Now you better keep it real with me.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Now screenshot your face just before you answer the question.
Hey, bro.
Because I was show you how you look.
Hey, over there. Where you at?
I'm taking shots. All right, so now here we go. Yeah, my desktop filled with your face. Now, here we go. Got another one. I needed that one. So when we dialogue, I'm gonna show you how you look on I Am Brother Polite. Now, here we are. The young man is 15 years old, but he come through with this 20-year-old girl. You don't want your young man with the 20-year-old girl? You forbid that, or is that okay for your young man?
I would speak against it, brother. I would speak against it, and I would discourage it. And I'm not gonna have that in my house. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Actually, because I mean, listen. Let me tell you this. I believe that we're trying to build something here as a Moorish American. I believe that we need equally balanced families in order to build this nation. And
what do you mean by equally balanced? Are you saying it is impossible for them to be?
That might work for somebody else, but in the way that I teach and instruct, I want the people to be on equal footing, as equal as possible.
Hold on, brother. Are you telling me that a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old cannot be on equal footing as far as consciousness is concerned? What equal footing are you talking about? Age?
The equal footing that I'm talking about, the 17-year-old hasn't even graduated high school yet. The 20-year-old.
How you know that? You better finish school early.
See, you make it all scenarios. Stop keep changing the scenario.
She got to graduate school. So fine, she finished school early. Now what? Can they get together?
Finish school early. I believe that because of the state of our communities in such disarray, I think our people need to be building on other platforms as opposed to worrying about relationships that they're not even really prepared for at life. They're not even prepared for life anyway. So I think I encourage, I'm telling you, if I could, you see my son in the video. Right now he's in college. Man, I'd encourage them boys, man, leave that thing alone. I leave that thing alone. But I know they probably sneaking, ducking, and dodging. Let's keep it 100. But I don't encourage that, brother. That's not me. Somebody else.
I mean, it got to be a natural order to the situation. Order to the situation. Now, I ain't even talking about lust and having sex. I'm just saying, can the 14-year-old have a relationship with the 17-year-old?
No, I don't encourage that. I disagree with that, brother. Just because the state, if we was in a different environment, in another society, a different cultural rules and overtones, as you said.
I'm talking about you and your world. I ain't talking about
my world. No, I discourage that, brother. I discourage that.
Now, last question.
Right.
Last question.
I discourage. We're trying to build a nation. We're trying to build positive people. I'm not going to encourage that.
No problem.
Right?
No problem. So now here we go. Here we go. Can a 22-year-old have a relationship with a 29-year-old?
I think this. And the way that I think, I would discourage.
Hold on. Do that again so I can screenshot it.
The way that I think.
There we go.
Listen, you got to understand, brother Polite. I'm not more science on Monday and then different principles on Tuesday. I'm like more science 24/7. And my goal is to that's what I'm saying. My goal is to build strong families. And
yes, I agree.
My goal is to build strong families and provide the I'm with you, my brother. Hold up. And provide the things that will allow people to build strong families. And I just think if a person is 21 and 29, I just think the imbalance in there, the experience is different. And you can't build strong families out of that majority of the time. So I discourage it.
When I get on your platform, it's going to be a whole different conversation, brother.
Brother, you know we good. But listen, my thing is, that's my thing, brother. I'm Moorish 24/7. My principle is my principle.
Let's not deviate from the original point, and that is, how can we establish natural order out of something we never had in contemplation, which means natural order is speculative because we will have to factor in what age is best and then make it law amongst us for people to turn around and romanticize on what is natural. But you see, this wasn't held in contemplation yet. So therefore, it's off the natural order shelf.
No.
No. Speculation.
I'm asking you. Natural order is to say
about gravity.
Huh?
See, gravity is natural order because it exists inside the planet, so it's nature, so it's natural. If it's outside the planet, we can make it universal. But the way our social experience works is a matter of speculation.
You're not speaking natural order. You're actually speaking cultural order. Because cultural order in America is different than cultural order in countries in Africa. Cultural order in Saudi Arabia is different than in China. You're speaking culturally. And so as a Moorish American, culturally, I think it's only acceptable that we build strong families where we're on equal footing.
You see what you said? You said, as a Moorish American, you preface your statement by saying, as a Moorish American.
That's culture. Culturally. I'm speaking of culture.
Now, what I'm saying is natural order, the construct of
talking about natural order
by the community.
Brother, no. Culture is determined. Not
so what
order.
Is the
natural order has been here before we have even walked the planet. It always exists.
Hey, you believe in the Bible, right?
I know what that is.
Taharka, you believe in the Bible, right?
What do you mean by believe in the Bible? Clarify that. What do you mean I believe in the Bible? Do you think
the Bible, brother? Do you believe in the book of Genesis and it's legitimate?
I believe that the book of Genesis had its origin with our people, and I think it has been
no problem. I'm with it. Let's go to the next question. That's good. Now, what age was Adam and Eve when they got together? Because I heard your 2-year theory. What age was Adam and Eve when they got together in the Bible? Because it beats your 2-year theory. And you're going against the Bible now.
No. Listen what I said. I believe that the Bible has been compromised, so that's not a good source to talk with.
Muslim, because they would say that. But listen, what I'm saying is this: the book of Genesis, damn it. Don't try to be slick.
How you gonna use that with me? That's not my standard. That's not my standard.
Hey, yo, what age was Adam and Eve? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know. You can't use that as my standard. You can't use that. You gotta pick something else, brother.
I can't use that as a standard.
As my standard.
If you're not gonna follow Adam and Eve as an example, and you're gonna make up your own example, it stands to reason that natural order has nothing to do with nature with your speculations, because the only natural
if you don't believe in the Bible, I can't let you use the Bible to qualify anything you're saying.
I believe in that part of the Bible.
So don't qualify the Bible if you don't believe in it.
I believe in that part of the Bible.
Pick something else. You don't believe in the Bible. So don't.
I believe in that part of the Bible. I believe in that part of the Bible.
Man, you don't believe in the Bible. You've been said it. Now don't use it to qualify. Pick something else.
Let me ask you a question about this Bible.
No, man, let's get my brother on the phone, won't you, brother? Please, man. Is this Bible a compilation of books? Absolutely. Or is it one book? It's a compilation of books, brother.
I believe in that book right there.
Okay. So you believe in God, the 7-day creation.
I don't believe that's what the Bible's talking about.
No. The Bible said God created man in 7 days. You believe in that?
The Bible says that in English.
No,
I don't believe that.
What part do you believe in? Speak in the language you believe.
The Bible says, Barashit Bala Elohim Etz Hasham
Sister Baba says he won't go to war with me, sis.
The Bible says, Barashit Bala Elohim Etz Hasham Et Haaretz.
Lord, my eye, I seen you grow up, my eye. How you doing?
In the beginning, not at the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But the word that they use for God is power, that which is invoked. Okay? And power in the multitude.
The Bible. I'm not trying to.
Okay, I just don't believe that they're talking about God, the one that people talking about.
No. Do you believe in Genesis stories that man was created from dirt in the ground?
I wouldn't say it in that context because it's not written in that context.
You don't believe in it. Give me another example. You don't believe in it.
No. It's not that I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the interpolation of the people that teach us about it. I believe that man is made up.
We can't use that to qualify a conversation.
Hold on. No, you gotta listen carefully. I believe what is being communicated is that what we are made up of is also what the earth is made up of outside of us.
I know all that, brother Polite, but we can't. If you have all of these things, we can't use that to qualify a conversation.
Hold on, brother. I don't believe that the interpretation that I should follow should be that someone took clay or mud and made man, blew breath into him. I wouldn't take it that literal. That's what I'm saying.
I got you. So back to my point. We cannot use that to qualify a conversation with two intelligent.
Why not? Because I have a different interpretation.
That's right. So mine might be different from yours, and we're not going to get to the bottom of it. We just
don't talk to nobody else on planet Earth. How come you can talk to everyone else? You can't talk to me. You just trying to get out the conversation.
Brother, we're not using the Bible to qualify. Can my brother ask a question, brother?
Yes, we can. You need to get bailed out.
Somebody must be cool with me because he got my number. Who is this, brother?
Get the bail bonds on the line. Bail you out.
This who?
Israel Doctrine.
This Israel Doctrine. Up jump the money. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, Brother Polite on the phone. You got something for Brother Polite, my brother?
Yeah, I would like to ask him if he considered my conversation. We've been conversating a little bit in the inbox. Have he considered it, and if he can answer it or not? Will it be appropriate to have a discourse or not?
You want to have a discourse with Brother Polite? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, he know what I'm talking about. We spoke in the inbox.
Brother, you came on my channel to jockey for some Brother Polite time. Man, come on, Israel Doctrine with this, brother. No, I'm playing. Hey, brother, that's all good. That's my brother. You know, I'm goofy, Israel Doctor, so you got to take it out of here. Anyway, Brother Polite, what he said is, are y'all going to have a discourse or conversation in the future?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Polite on the world tour on YouTube, brother. He coming. He got you. You good? Anything else? Brother, give him a hard question, man. Because when you get mad, you talk real crazy as well. So you might as well give him a hard question. You seen him in the spaceship? Give him a hard one, brother.
I got a hard one that I know he heard about Israelite Christian. I stated that on his channel over there. Have you heard about Israelite nationalism? And do you have any idea what that is?
Do you have any idea what Israel nationalism is?
Israelite nationalism.
Israelite nationalism. I'm sorry, brother.
I'm not too sure about all that. I don't know what that term. I don't know how authenticated that term is. So
he say he's not sure about that term. But anything else, my brother?
Because the only form of Israelite nationalism I'm familiarized with is what they call Zionism, and most pale Jews subscribe to that. So that'd be a form of nationalism that I understand, Zionism. But this terminology he's using, maybe the phraseology I'm not familiar with, but I know that to be a bunch of white Jews concept.
Well, I created the terminology of the phraseology. Malcolm X.
He said he created the terminology.
Malcolm X Black. Yeah, off of Malcolm X Black nationalism. When he was kicking that, I just changed black into Israel because we don't believe that we are the black Israelites. So
he said
it's interchangeable with Malcolm.
All right, cool. I got you, Israel Doctor. I'm about to tell him right now if he didn't hear you because he's on his phone. But peace and love, my brother, and I'll talk to you soon. Brother Polite, he said that he took the term from black nationalism into Israel nationalism. He coined the phrase basically. So obviously you probably wouldn't be familiar with it because he coined the phrase. What you doing, brother? This is an important show right here. What's wrong with you?
Okay. Sorry about that. I apologize.
No, you good, my brother. Brother, this was a beautiful, beautiful dialogue, bro. I don't want to hold you up too much longer because we gotta do this again. This was fun, man.
You said they like it, they loving it, and then you should have came on my show tomorrow.
Bro, if I didn't have a show, you know I would, brother. You know I would. I don't have no problem with that. One thing about me, brother, I love the dialogue. You see, I'm just, hey, let me tell you something. Brother, how many languages do Polite speak? And as being bilingual help you on your journey?
Oh, being bilingual. Oh, bilingual. I think that would mean only 2 languages.
I'm just reading it. I'm reading from this came out early into the chat.
7 of which is Indu-Asusu, which is the language that I created, which is the one that we are rocking out with the most these days, and it's designed for, yes, it helps your brain, but it's designed for us to become masters of our own destiny. What do I mean by masters of our own destiny? We don't use certain phraseology. We don't use certain terms that we feel hinder us in our ability to create or being more in control of our direction in life. So for instance, we don't have the word try in our language. We don't have the word can't in our language. We don't refer to anything we're involved in as the struggle. It would be the progression. We don't identify anyone as the devil because we feel that as simultaneously makes someone else our God. So the language isn't just words that's being transmitted from one person to the next. It's also the conception, the approach towards the way we communicate with each other. Like for instance, we say tadut when we say hi to each other. Tadut means success. So we find in our culture, we say what's popping sounds negative. What's cracking sounds negative. What up, my nigga? My nigga, hold on. My nigga as sounds like slave master terminology.
Bro, I like this though, bro. Like this is real. This is high science here. You know what I mean?
So what happens is we look at everybody else that's more effective than us around the world. And what do they greet each other with? Peace be upon you. Peace. They say shalom. They say assalamu alaikum, right? So we like assalamu alaikum, shalom. We like, dang. Is it a coincidence that the way these people leave a first impression on each other, does it have anything to do with the progression of the community? I believe so, because all over the world, people greet each other differently and their community seems to go in a different direction. That seems progressive. So for us, we know we need success badly. So what we do, we say success to each other when we meet each other, tadu, and then when we leave each other, we say iluvu, which means perpetual success. Meaning I wish you success on and on and on again until you come back and I see you again, we can talk about it. That's what it means at live. So we say iluvu when you leave, we say success or tadu when you come in. It means high and it means bye, but actually the word is success or perpetual success. So the language is constructed so we don't create limitations around ourselves, because even if we project it to someone else, that means we have confidence in it being able to manifest and form in our life as well. So if I were to tell you, oh brother, you cannot do that, then I'm also telling myself such a limitation also exists in my world. So I'm not just pulling you down, I'm pulling me down. So the best thing that I can do is uplift you in my conversation, because simultaneously, it would be a recurring theme of my potential in regards to what I'm able to do if I reinstill the same conviction in you when you're looking to accomplish something. So we don't have a lot of terms. We don't have interrogatives like who, what, when, and where, because it's a tonal language. So what we'll do, instead of saying what time it is, we'll just say the time, and you'll understand it's a question because of the way that the tone is put. Or, you know, if we were to say, do you have something to drink here? We'll just say any drinks. So it's all about tones. We won't use the who, what, when, and where, or why. We'll phrase it in a certain way where the tone nation intimates what it is we looking to expect. So it's a listening language. So that's what we created. We actually had the community on a fast, meaning other than English, of course, we're doing our best not to speak any other languages so we can submerge ourselves into the thought process that we feel the language was created for, so we can become more positive and more in control of our destiny. So that's why I'm in conflict with a lot of people, because they impose their ideas on me. When I'm telling them I understand where you're coming from, I just don't deal with that. So I understand that somebody's the devil in your world. In our world, in our language, and in our culture, to appoint someone to the devil is to simultaneously appoint them to God. So we don't do that. I'm not part of a struggle, because words have power, frequency, tones, and can determine the direction of your path. So I'm not part of the struggle. I'm part of the progression.
Brother, you're more. That's the science.
Yeah, so you know, we just vibing on that. So people say, I gotta be willing to die for my people. One time I was on one of these Negro shows. He made a big thing out of me saying I'm not dying for my people. I said I'm living for my people. Why? Because when a man is trying to live, he'll duck and dodge the bullets because he's trying to live. But if a man already has in his head, I'm dying for my people,
yeah,
you're more inclined to lose by dying for your people. But if you're looking to live, you can die in the process, but your vigor and your conviction is going to be a lot more stronger to survive, because your brain is set on living. It means you're going to be more calculative in your decision-making process. So
you're the mute.
About phraseology and to what we are accomplishing is creating a sense of mastery towards our own destiny.
Brother, let me ask you, I think my brother asked you, and I was holding this question real quick. He said, it was a good question. What was the first business that you started? I think you said that yesterday about the shea butter.
Okay, hold on. There's a question in your chat saying, how can you call status correction a misnomer for crown doctrine when you put out a book called Status Correction? If you read the book called Status Correction, it tells you that we call it the status correction because of the popularity of the term. Yet, everyone's goal is to receive a crown. Answer to your question, read the book. Read the goddamn book. My goodness, people are crazy. Ask about the book, but don't read the book. You see what I'm saying? How can you call the book Status Correction? How could the Book of the Dead be called the Book of the Dead when on the second page it lets you know there ain't no such terminology? It's Pakatu Shapama Para and Haru. It is the ritual procession of going into the awakening, or the ritual procession of going into consciousness. But you have to read the book to understand where the title comes from. So in that particular case, the white man deemed it necessary to call it the Book of the Dead because he's seen it as an eschatological text. Nonetheless, he made it clear on page 2, it has nothing to do with the dead. And if you go into the language, you see it is a ritual procession going into the awakening. Nothing to do, anything to do with the dead. It is the awakening. That's where you say Para and Haru. What is Haru? Haru is drawn as the sun at dawn. The sun at dawn. What takes place at dawn? Things seem to wake up, rise. So there's a rising, there's an awakening. What does Usir's name mean, or Osiris' name mean? It means the awakening. So there we go, because everybody's goal is to become as Usir. How does Usir become Usir? By the one letter distinction between his name and his sister / his wife. If you say, how could his sister be his wife? It's because it's the same words. It's not necessarily that that's his sister and that's his wife. The word for wife is also the word for sister. See, this is the thing that people don't get because they see man and woman as whole only when they work together or in a union. So when a man gets a wife, they become whole. So the word that they use for twin is also the word that they use for husband and wife, which is also the words that they use for brother and sister. And when you look up the word asset or asset, and you see that her image represents a throne by itself, you can spell her name just with the throne by itself. If you do spell her name all out and you look at Usir's name spelled all out, the only difference in the letter at that point would be the I, which is pronounced ear, which means to make or to create. What is her goal? To make him conscious. And through making him conscious, Usir, he gets to be back on his throne. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, this is all in the language, and this is how our ancestors think. But first you must read the title of the book, and then you must read the book so you can understand where people are coming from. I just wanted to answer that question. Because people write.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this. And I forgot that I was upset with you. I forgot. It just hit me. Brother, you promoted going to taking a trip to Egypt. And this before we knew each other. And I sent my email out. Aminette didn't send me nothing back. You ain't send me nothing back. I'm upset. I'm upset.
Bro, I ain't know. I don't know what email you sent it to, because I got plenty of other people emails.
Bro, what happened with the trip, brother? You gonna still do a trip to Egypt?
Heck yeah. Going back out there next June.
No, you're doing a tour though, right? You were saying that you was gonna take a group out.
Yeah, I'm taking a group out.
You got my name on the list, right?
I got it now.
Brother, I sent my email.
I don't know where you sent it to.
Maybe
you didn't know that was you. Maybe you hit us with your government name or something.
Bro, that is my government name. What do you mean? How many names you think I got?
Government name?
My name is Taharka Bey. Get it right.
I have to do you like the females would say. What's your mama name you?
My mama named me Jalopy.
You had to think about it?
Yeah, I ain't giving what my mama named me. I ain't giving you what my mama named. I tell you, I did a lot of things on that. I had to do a status correction. No, I'm playing. I did a lot of stuff under that name. That name terrible, man. I did some things, brother. Some way back.
I'm down, brother. You can't let these Negroes get your name.
Hey, no, brother, polite. I want to get on that trip though, brother. I definitely want to go and get on that trip, brother.
Man, you have a lot of fun, bro. I know that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going though, brother. I ain't seeing you. I didn't see you promoted since then. But nevertheless, a brother said, "What was your first business?" I think that's a very legitimate, probably inspiring question because
I was making soap, lotion, deodorant, hair grease, and body spray. That's what I was doing. I was hustling soap, my first product, soap.
Was you getting racks?
Not till later when I started opening up my own store and filling it up like Bath and Body with all my soaps and lotions. Then I was killing them. But I started out with soap. I started out with soap this small, and going around trying to sell it before I set up a table. And it was a little rough.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you truly successful or are you smoking mirrors?
I don't smoke.
Come on, bro. Because that's leading on to the next question. Would you invest in a promising idea if somebody wanted to do what you did to get started?
I don't know.
Would you invest in a brother that is trying to get started, entrepreneur? You know, would you help set a brother up, brother? Don't say I don't know. Would you? Somebody helped you, because I heard you say Dr. Sebi helped you up with 10 racks.
He gave me a little more than that, but I don't know.
I just say 10 racks. Well,
he gave me a little more than that to set up the restaurant. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. And the reason why I'm telling you I don't know, let me show you something. After I say what I'm supposed to say, yes, if a brother gives me a great idea to invest in them, of course I'm do it. Then guess what? I'm gonna get 1,000 emails. And I have to turn some people down, or a lot of people down, or even 1,000 people down, depending on the situation. So I don't know what I don't know what is demanded of me, or what is expected of me to commit or contribute to somebody with a valuable idea. And because sometimes people tell me the way I need to help them rather than allow me to give them direction on how to get the help. You feel me? So I just have to be honest and say I don't know, because I want to set myself up. And then I have to keep it real with every single email that I wind up getting.
All right, a follow-up question.
I'm calculative, brother, because when I get off your show, then the hell breaks out. So I got to be very calculative with how I answer the question.
I wouldn't even. That's it. Hey, I feel you. A question is,
I'm already helping people, and I'm not going to spread myself thin. Like I had a brother actually build with me, and I told him I do free streams, try to catch me when I'm on the free streams. So he says, yo, how dare you send me a consultation fee for me to speak to you? This is why the community's failing. I think I'm gonna show that when I talk to you. And so I said to myself, that's not fair. And the reason why that's not fair is because if I spoke to 24 people for 1 hour out the cycle, that'd be 24 hours. That'd be the whole day if I spoke to 24 people. I got a video right now. If you go to Brother Polite, Facebook, Brother Polite, I got a video that's doing 1 million views every week. I average 1 million views a week. My Blood Crip video. I got another one I just did with Gorilla Hebrew. That's over 100,000. I got another one did with my wives.
That did 100,000, right?
Over 100,000. So what I'm saying is, from each time a video does millions, like the one I got doing 1 million every week, literally it's at 3.1 million, and it's been up for 3 weeks. And a few days. So what I'm saying is, if I'm getting 1 million views a week from just one video on my platform, on my page, how much messages do you think I'm getting after that? Because it's connected to my page. It's not someone else's page going viral. It's my page. And then I have another one at 100,000, and another one at 70-some thousand, and another one at 436,000 about for me teaching about melanin. And then I got another one teaching about hair that just went to 1.4 million on my page. So how much messages just from that alone? Not counting my YouTube messages, not counting my Instagram messages, not counting my emails, several emails. Then I got text messages from my phones, and I got several phones. I say all of this because it gets difficult to respond to all those messages. And then I write to prisoners. Every prisoner that I visit from my prison sponsorship program, from the people that's doing life at Orange County in California, to the people at Rikers Island when I go to Rikers to also speak to the brothers and sisters there. I write everyone individually. I also write books. I also ghostwrite books. I also write screenplays. I'm also working on a major docudrama for HBO right now. So with the gang members. So for me to do all of that, if I need to now take my time out to talk to someone I don't know individually, I don't know what they're likely to say, how long the conversation going to be. I just say, you know what? Sometimes I got to charge for the time because After I didn't even mention I got a shower, homeschool, which I'm obligated to do every day, or just spend time with my wives who I have more than one wife, more than two wives, more than three wives, more than four. So for me to have to deal with that, I didn't even mention my personal life. The man to tell me I got the nerve and the reason why the black community is failing because I'm charging him for a consultation. I'm like, brother, it's what I have to do to qualify my time because all this philanthropy work doing free streams for 3 hours and then turning around and answering texts, writing letters to prisoners, each one of them that I visit, as I get mail, return them and give them something authentic, then writing books, then ghostwriting, then doing screenplays. Yo, I'm not even asking for a lot. It may be a lot to the person. And I understand. Catch me on a free stream. Or let me call you when I can call you, which might be a month later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. But respect me, man. Like I respect you. I ain't gonna disrespect you and say, oh, this nigga ain't got the money, but he wanna talk to me. I'm not gonna do that. You feel me? Like I'm down to earth. I'm gonna show you how down to earth I am. This brother right here. Hold on, like real quick.
From the first time we met, we've been down to earth. You walked
now
up.
Watch this. Let me show you how real I keep it. Where did I meet you at, brother, and when?
I believe that was Hollywood Boulevard or something like that. Was that Wilshire down there?
Wilshire.
On Wilshire Boulevard in California. I'm from Philadelphia.
So he's out here. They done what they rap. You was with Gucci Mane today or whatever?
Well, we went to the Gucci party. My man, he raps. He's doing a deal with Apple.
All right, so cool. So you got this deal going with Apple and everything. I'm walking down the block, chilling. Yo, you brother Polite? Yo, what up, man? Yo, I get the picture. I say, yo, I appreciate the love and the respect, my brother. We built a little bit. They telling me the stuff they doing. I'm like, yo, you know what? We can connect. I like the vibe, my brother. Walk past. My wife come. I'm in there. Come through. Yeah, so long story short, I just met him today.
Right.
It's a spirit thing. He like, yo, just to see the love. I'm just like, he hit me up, yo, can we link up later or whatever? I'm like, yo, bro, come through. You good money. Text him the address and everything. You feel me? Like, that's the type of dude I am. This is true. I just met him today. You feel me? Just because he's from Philly and, you know, the energy and they doing something positive. I'm like, man, I was just happy to hear it. I'm like, yo, we network, we good. Then he hit me up. I'm like, yo, I did say, yo, if you got time later, we can connect. I'm like, yo, I'm doing a stream. If you don't mind, you could come through, catch me while I'm doing the stream. Since this is where the spirit of the love is coming from, I thought it'd be dope if he just be around while I do what I do. So he been here the whole time chilling, waiting till we build. He got to fly out with tonight. He fly out tonight. I'm just showing up. Yeah, I'm in that. Yeah, real quick.
Hey, bro, you know, that's why I thought this stream was important, man. So
watch this, though.
Watch this. Brother Polite is.
Watch this.
Man,
right? Hold on.
That lean on me. That's what you're trying to do.
No. Come, baby, just come on this side. Now watch this. Right after we bump into him, what happens when we leave? After we see him on the street, yo, what's up, brother Polite? We take the picture. What happened? What happened when we go to the next block?
Another brother Polite supporter, fan.
Man, you ain't that big, Polite. I'm bigger than
Stop. I'm gonna say out the sushi spot. Talk a little louder.
Right.
Then what happened after that? Walking like 10 more feet.
Someone popped out the car in front of the juice bar.
And was on some, yo, you brother Polite. Now this was all inside of 4 minutes from leaving you. Went down the block. Someone came out the sushi spot. Said what up to him. Took a picture. Went down 10 more steps. Someone came out their car. And guess what? Each time I'm like, yo, what's up? Take the picture, connect. Yo, let's get up. Yo, when you ready, I'm here. Blah, blah, blah. I linked up with one of the brothers. I went outside, connected with him. I'm bringing everyone. It's just a spirit in your energy. So I was just like, yo, I'm with it. Your energy positive. Just like that. I don't bring nobody around my family. My wife can tell you, there's no dudes that come to the crib unless I'm doing some kind of work. It was just positive energy, bro. And I be meeting positive energy people, but I deal with that thing that they call the spirit. I deal with it, and I'm like, yo, something's positive. And I'm glad to see someone from all the way over there come from all the way over here and doing something. It made me feel like, oh, I'm connecting with people more from my side. Because, you know, they Cali here, they got their own vibe. No shade. But, you know, it feels good to connect with ours. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I got to connect with the homie. So they ain't strangers to town. Next time, you know, I was telling him, yo, the studios. You know, I was like, yo, I go by Kanye stuff, whatever. Like, if you had the free time, follow me over there. Just like that, love. I'm like, you deal with music, I'm gonna try to assist y'all. I don't even know their whole spill. I'm like, yo, I can take you to this studio, tell them about Puff, tell them about different people. Like, yo, if you got the free time, right or wrong, I'm like, yo, I got you. We can do that. You feel me? So I just met him, but just on his strength, he supported me. I'm supporting him. I know the industry he dealing with. I'm like, yo, maybe I could make him contact a few more other people and see them go through, do their thing. Because guess what? I know about reciprocity. We call it ma'at in the comedic science. All I got to do is contribute to someone's life. That's my spiritual transaction. So all I got to do, that's kuwi na kunu. All I got to do is contribute to somebody and have good intent. Now, what does meta mean? Meta is when you give to somebody with no intention to get something back. That's what meta is. So the more meta you build up, you're actually able to get a larger gift. It's called abundance. So if I keep building up my meta or giving to people for no reason at all, not like, hey, I gave you something for your birthday, you got to give me something back for my birthday. No, I just give you on the strength because it's just the energy's right and something told me that I need to give to you. I do that all the time. I build up my meta, and guess what I get? I get abundance. So when people turn around, I made you, I created everything about you, this, and the third. I know I can't go into the metaphysics of how I got everything because I know I just go around doing, like, I be giving away food, vegan food. Yo, here, hold that money. Yo, son, do me a favor, get the homies, give the food away. Just buy it and give it away. I'm building up my meta because a lot of times people don't even see it on video up until recent. And the reason why I don't like it on video, because I feel like it might hinder my abundance because now it's almost like I'm trying to receive something in exchange for it. So I make sure much of what I do positively, I don't record it. Or I make sure I do as much positive recorded that I do unrecorded. So people can get a documentation so they can get the motivation and inspiration, but at the same rate, I want to also make sure I have undocumented evidence that I just conduct positive acts of love and selfless acts of love so I can build my meta, because then when my abundance come through, it come through. And every time I get my abundance, I just smile because people ain't gonna understand when they ask me how I got what I got. I'm gonna have to show them in a book. I'm gonna have to show them step by step. But if I told them, oh, no, I was just building up my meta, I was just giving people with no expectation to get something back in return, they're going to think I'm BSing and that I'm being a coon and I don't really want to share my money. That's what they're going to think. I'm telling you, this is the world I live in. But that was just an example. I'm about to close out, you feel me? Yeah, just showing people.
I appreciate you. If you need me on Thursday, I got you. I got to do this show tomorrow because I'm trying to.
I like the conversation.
You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate you, brother. You know, I know what you're saying is facts. Because when you walked into that demonstration in Baltimore, you only spoke to me on the phone through the three-way with me and Sinetta going at each other's throat. And when you walked in, you was like, oh! So I know where your spirit is at, my brother. Whether you believe in the white bed, European, in the clouds or not, I know where you're at.
You already know, man. It's all love. All love.
Brother, I'll hit you tomorrow. If you want to do it Thursday, I got you.
Let's get it. Let's get it then.
All right, I got you. On Thursday, I'm there.
Man, thanks a lot for the opportunity. Thank you for all the guests that came out. This is definitely a classic show. You got to title this something powerful, brother.
Yeah, I was thinking while we was going on, man. I loved it, man. And I think you gave people another insight on who you are, brother. Peace and love.
Thank you for being you, brother. Thank you for being you. It's very positive.
I appreciate you the same, my brother. Peace. Now, anybody in the chat got any questions for me on the Moorish tip? Anybody? Come on, I want you haters come up now. Come on up. Let's go. Anybody that got something that they want to talk to the Moorish brother about? I see a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, listen, family, first and foremost, we got to know that our family in Africa seen things a lot of different ways. We didn't demonize them, nor did we kill them, nor did we act crazy. We didn't get that thing until we was conquered. When somebody else think different, we got to get aggressive. When somebody else think different, we got to act like they the demon. When somebody think different, we got to lose our mind. No, sometimes we just got to understand. And that's what we did tonight. We get to understand who Brother POLIGHT is. Why not? He's our brother. He's affecting many, many lives. Why wouldn't you want to understand how he get from being the Crip guy to selling soap guy to now he's now he's over there in Beverly Hills? Why wouldn't you know that? You know what I mean? Hold up. Here we go again. What's going on, my brother?
Peace, what up, bro?
All right, my brother. What you got for me? Come on.
Your guys over here attacking me in the side chat. I would like to have a discourse with them because they think that they can correct me on my understanding of our teachings and our doctrine, our literature, our text. So they've been over here lying on me, and they trying to act like since I came over here, I'm not showing love. I came. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
When y'all was into it with Sarnetta and stuff, and Sharif was doing the debate and everything, I reached out to Sharif. He was going to come on. He fell off my show. I didn't have no art with Sharif. And then I called you. You came over to the show. I promoted what you was doing and stuff. There wasn't no art between us.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, brother. I'm gonna call you after the show, and I let you talk to my brother Moorish Hawk, and whoever else that wants to dialogue with you, and we can go live on the topic. Well, how about that?
All right, that's cool.
All right. So let me answer some of these questions coming through, and I'm giving you my word now. I ain't giving you my word before, but I'm giving you my word that if Moorish Hawk agree and whoever else agree to have a conversation concerning what y'all was talking about in the chat, then we'll go and have that conversation. All right.
Well, they probably ain't gonna do it, so you know. I don't
Man, these are Moorish Americans, man. These brothers are upright, independent, and fearless. They Moorish Americans. They gonna do it. And Moorish Hawk, hey, the young brother got some fire now. And the thing is, my brother, as long as we can keep it respectful, no cursing, no low blow shots. Because the show over at that point. It's over.
Well, my thing is, I'm respectful when people respectful to me.
What I'm saying is,
listen, you ain't gotta use profanity to be disrespectful. I can call you an idiot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That ain't even no, but I'm just saying, I don't have to use profanity. I don't have to even come at nobody in a strong way or like that. But I only get what I get. If I'm in a fight and you hit me in the
No. What I'm saying, we're going to have no low vibration. We're going to have straight scholarship, and that's it, or it's done. Period. That's it. And that's on both sides.
I'm down with it.
All right, I'm going to talk to him later. I'm gonna talk to him after the show. Let me ask some questions. Peace and love. All right. So my brother Moorish Hawk, I know where my brother stands. This is a beautiful show, man. This is a beautiful show. With somebody who asked some, do I believe in universal health care? That's what somebody asked. What is I wish you would call in. Let me put the number up here. So we can have a conversation before we go. I'm gonna make this a common thing now that we have conversations before we get out of here. So let me I gotta find this number. Y'all don't know this number. Y'all already know I don't know this number. Why y'all doing this to me? But I'm gonna find it in a minute. Hold up. It's 443-865-2517. That's what it is. 443-865-2517. I think that's what it is. And if that's what it is, I want somebody to call in and ask some questions that you may have. 869. It's 869. $25.17. All right, my bad. And if you want to call in. Talk about some more stuff real quick before we get out of here. I'm going to try to answer any of your questions because I've seen some questions. Okay, is Morocco is Morocco a trader country? Yes or no? You need to explain further what you mean. Is Morocco traders or something like that? Huh? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, you need to explain what you mean by that. let me do this. All right. Hey, Star, welcome to Moorish World TV. How you doing? Who I'm speaking with?
Hi, this is Artemis Games from the chat.
All right, do me a favor. Stand by for 1 second, right? Can you stand by for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the restroom. It's going to take me 2 minutes, and I'm going to be right back, and then we're going to pick up where we left off. So while we're doing that, I'm going to play my people song from Philadelphia, and I'll be right back.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Truth don't change, and law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Truth don't change, and law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you're conscious, of being conscious that you're conscious, cause you can't go back to sleep or return to the state where the prophet found you. Wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you are unconscious, dripping in the cares of the world that almost drown you. And now the rock of your salvation is only a step away from everything you used to do and everything you used to say and all those awful things you kept around you.
I love that song, man. Come on, brother.
If I can get you to think, I can get you to free yourself. You're Moorish American, be yourself. Our prophet, noble to Ali, that's what he taught. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, cause wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man and God are one.
Ooh, they straight out of Philly. Good goodness and gracious. Wisdom is the consciousness. Man, let me stop. All right, my brother, let the people know who you are. Come on in, let's talk about it for a minute. I'm going to take 30 minutes to take some calls, and we're going to chop it up real quick. Who I'm speaking with?
This is Artemis Games from the chat. From Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. What's up, brother? So what's going on? Talk to me.
I'm just a regular guy, no college degree, nothing. But I look at certain things like economics, and I try to like what it is and how we can help Black people. And I realized that economics is kind of just like however many transactions is happening in the economy. Like me buying from you, you buying from the store buying from the warehouse, etc. So that's why to participate in the economy like that, you need to have money. Money needs to be affluent. People need to get the economic standing up. And to have money in this society, you need a job. Down the line, the thought continues to go to you need a degree in this society. You need a degree to have a job. So that's why I asked about the free college. Do you believe in free college just to help our people get into better economic positions, or what's your stance on that in terms of like the American political system, free college, free healthcare, whatever it is?
Yeah, I definitely believe that we need a system where we have free, responsible health care. A lot of this free health care that we getting is nothing but these manufactured prescription manufacturers making money off of our people. So when they put people into these programs, they send them to these doctors. These doctors is not trying to get anybody well, and now it becomes an industry. And that's why nobody is getting healed. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I just had this conversation last week. Back in the day, before people went to the hospitals, the old lady, grandma, she might put an onion under your arm or something. She may try some home remedies or something. But now with this universal healthcare thing, it's getting people to be depending upon somebody that don't have their best interests at heart. So that you got to be real careful with that. But now free education, that's another thing. Is it going to be indoctrination or education? Because Brother Gaddafi in Africa, in Libya, he had free education for everybody. Everybody was being educated, but they was getting educated with the things to help build society and build themselves. So you got to be careful with free education, because everything ain't free all the time. You know what I mean? Especially in the United States of America, as well as Canada and most of the European dominated countries. There is an angle. There ain't no free lunch. There is no free lunch, you know, so you got to be real careful with that. I think if you are building a foundation with your children at home, and you need the Prophet Noble Ali teaches us, get yourself a good European education. I can use you. That doesn't mean that you get taken outside of who you are and then you use that to benefit somebody else. You should get that education and bring it back to home base and use that to put us in position to be back into the place where our forefathers and foremothers were before we took that fall. You follow me?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I totally agree. I see what you're saying in terms of it not being a free lunch, and that we got to define clearly what we mean by free education and free health. I agree completely that it needs to be defined specifically as to what it is and how it's going to be implemented. So I appreciate the knowledge very much. That's the only question I have.
All right, thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Peace and love, and keep watching. Stay tuned, and we're gonna keep on trying to bring you the fire conversations, I guess. Oh no, peace, my brother. All right. So so the thing is that when we start looking at this free stuff, man, we got to be careful with it. We got to make sure we raise our families to be as conscious as we can get our families, so they understand that free ain't free. Free ain't free. Every time something is free, there's normally a catch to it. It is what it is. Taharka, did you get on the blessing loom? I haven't done enough research yet to give somebody my $100 with the promise of $800 back. I haven't done enough research. I got to do some research. I don't have a whole bunch of bread. I'm okay, but I don't got a whole bunch of bread just to be throwing in these ideas. So I'm going to research it, and I'm going to go from there. War ready. Peace and love, my brother. So anybody else got any questions? We pay a lot of taxes. We sure do. And guess what? War ready. We need to put people in position so we can have access to those taxes that we pay. Period, point blank. That's Operation Proclamation 101. You know what I mean? We put ourselves in position to control the government structure. We don't fight against the government structure. We take over the government structure by proclaiming our nationality, putting ourselves in position to become the power. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. And if we don't do it, guess what? Somebody else will control your tax dollars. Somebody else will control the narrative of your schools. Somebody else will control the narrative of the police department. Until we put ourselves in position, creating voting blocks. And I'm telling you, I'm going to, man. I got to put up a GoFundMe. Y'all got to fund me. I need to take trips around, man. I need to teach this, that we need to become the power. It's imperative. And if we don't become the powers that be will control the narrative. Period, point blank. All of those pseudo sideline conversation about driving with the paper plate tags and all of that old stuff about this is a corporation. Fine. Let's take over the corporation. Why are you fighting against the corporation? Let's take over the corporation. You know what I mean? Just like Walmart took over Kmart. Let's take over the corporation. Come with the Prophet Noble Ali so we can take over the corporation if it's a corporation. You know what I mean? Why not? Any more questions before I get up out of here? Huh? Where you at? Talk to me. Any more questions? I got to go. I've been on here since 6 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock now. I got to eat and all that type of stuff. I'm not a machine. You know what I mean? I ain't no machine like Brother Polite. Brother Polite said he seen every other day. Yeah, I ain't doing all that. He might be. Man, listen, man. Yeah, man, listen. Any more questions? Man, come on. I got to go. I want to thank my brother Nas. Man, I mean, he did a wonderful job, man. We do this on our own time, on our own dime. What we're saying is that we could have been somewhere else doing something else. You know what I mean? We could have been somewhere making a couple of dollars to support our family. That's how we say it. That's how we say it in Baltimore. Couple of dollars. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, we say that in Annapolis. Couple of dollars. You know what I mean? That's a couple of dollars. We could be somewhere else doing something else. But we here to talk to y'all. And man, we appreciate y'all. I hope I see y'all tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to bring on some brothers. I don't know if they call themselves sovereign or whatever. This is going to be a strong week this week, because I don't know if they call themselves sovereign or not, but whatever they call themselves, I will be in the house tomorrow on the next live stream. The next live stream will be tomorrow at 6. No, tomorrow at 8. At 8 p.m. And my brother Sharif will be in the building tomorrow. He's scheduled to be in the bar. Huh? Who can't hear you? Who can't hear you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? What happened? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. Oh, Sister Dawn, you say you can't. You know what I'm going to do? Sister Dawn, you got to hear me. You know what I mean? We're going to be in the house tomorrow. We're going to be in the house tomorrow. Let me tell you that. Not at 6, at 8. So someone asked, what is the main purpose of proclaiming your nationality? You asked, what is the main purpose of proclaiming your nationality? The main purpose of proclaiming your nationality is to identify yourself as being a part of the families of nations. Everybody on the plane of planet Earth has a nationality, but nationality is not a golden key to some prize. It's really not. You can proclaim your nationality. You can proclaim your nationality and still die broke. You can, but just because you proclaim your nationality, it does not put you on some pedestal of status and a status of what would you call it? Thinking that the world is yours. No. Nationality only works as a group. It only works as a group. So proclaiming your nationality gives you a starting point to understanding who you are and who your people were. That's it. Nationality, it puts you into the fold of the families of nation. Nationality, it puts you within the bounds or the criteria of being a citizen. Nationality covers a lot of things, but one thing nationality don't do is not a get out of jail free card. You still got to obey the law. It's not a avoid tax charge. You still gonna pay taxes. There's not anything that people make it out to be. You know, we the only people that come to the realization that we are somebody and have a nationality. Now we don't want to pay taxes. You know, you never see a people of what I was going to say. You never see a people of Asian descent begin to start to go crazy and talk about, well, you know, my people came over the Bering Strait and we're not paying taxes. Oh yeah, my people were native to the land, so we're not paying taxes. The Prophet Obadiah Ali teaches us that the Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabite whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Of course, some of us was here, but some of us was over there too. So that's where we come from. So just because you proclaim your nationality, it's not a get out of jail free card. It's not the challenger judge card. It's not that. You're not going to get rich proclaiming your nationality, but we collectively can move as one people and make things happen. That is the power of nationality, the root word nation. That's it. And without work, we're not getting nothing. So if you think proclaiming your nationality is some big old prize that's going to jump out of the box and now save you, you're wrong. Nationality only works as a group. It only works as a group. That's it. That's it. Nationality only works as a group, as the root word. Nation. Nation. It only works as a group. That's it. You can go and get all these travel cards. You can go ahead, try to avoid taxes. You can go ahead and do all of this stuff you want to in the name of being a national. Do all the stuff you want. At the end of the day, nationality only works as a collective group. That's it. I mean, should we nationalize, then use the term Moorish movement to unite funds, and then use these funds to send a certain amount of people to college based on education needs of the nation? I think what we need to do is absolutely, we should nationalize our people within the temple setting. We know we have to do it according to the way that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali designed it, because he was divinely prepared. If you say you follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, if you say you follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you need to do it how the Prophet designed it. Without doing it the way that the Prophet designed it, you are in error. Now, listen to what I'm saying. In 1926 through 29, if the Prophet Noble Drew Ali filed paper for all of these Moors that was underneath his voice, it will be enough paper to make a trail from 1920 to 2016. You know, because that's how many people that was in support of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, proclaim your nationality. So you need to proclaim your nationality, and then we can organize. That's why I say simple is home base. We can organize, and we can pick the most brightest and the most strongly potential students of our flock and put our money behind them and put them to school. That's all we got to do. You know what I mean? Do other Americans within the U.S. proclaim their nationality? Italians Americans? Absolutely. This is how that works. When I had this conversation earlier too, when an Italian American has a child and that child is born and they put on their documents that that child is Italian American, that is proclaiming. When they put on any document that they are Italian American, that is proclaiming. When somebody asks an Italian American, who are you? And they say, I'm Italian American. That's proclaiming. Proclaiming is to speak out. So proclaim is to let known. There. So proclaim is not some magic type of document. Proclaim is to make known. So when you ask a Chinese person, what are you? Where are you from? And you think they're Korean, they say, no. I'm from China. That is proclaiming. We must proclaim. It is what it is. That. We must proclaim. It's not, see, we make it strange. You know what I mean? Them jackleg, misunderstood brothers that claim that's Moorish is misunderstood. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said we must proclaim our nationality. That's it. Proclaim. That's it. When a Mexican run across the border and they bring their children with them, they're illegal aliens. But let them have a baby. Let them have a baby. You know what happens? When that baby is born, on that birth certificate, they put Mexican American or whatever document, official document that calls for the descent nature and their current location. And when they say Mexican American, guess what? They proclaim. When they go and get them food stamps, yeah. Where are you from? Guatemala. I'm from Guatemala. They're going to proclaim. All we need to do is proclaim. When we proclaim, that unites us. That unites us. So find a temple and proclaim. And I'm going to be hard on the temple leaders that if the temple ain't right, I'm telling everybody, ask questions so you can get it right. If you in ATL, you need to get with my brother Nasir. You need to get with my brother Heru Reniciel. over there at Temple 19. I don't know the street number. Maybe Nasir put it in there. I don't know all that. But you need to get with some Moorish Americans. Let me see what else we got. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's why World Red is like, I'm Guatemala. I'm a Guatemala. You know they do that. That's what they do. You know? So it's a very simple thing. Proclaiming your nationality is just to make known. To make known. Now imagine if 100,000 so-called black, so-called African Americans let known that we Moorish American. We can change this problem overnight. We can change it overnight. You see, let me read something real quick. It said, in New York, I've heard of a Mexican Moor Empire. Well, the Mexican Moor Empire, if that's what you want to subscribe to, that's fine. But the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he created the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I believe that our salvation, our upward bound motion to the top starts at the Moorish Science Temple of America. And now I say that, and I say it in such a way that I'm not saying it in a way that trying to get you to be some super religious as you thought religion was. No, I'm saying it in such a way that if you join the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're going to have some work to do. If you join the Moorish Science Temple of America, everything ain't going to be peaches and cream. It's going to be some work. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali instructs us that this is a field open to strong men and women. You're going to have to be strong. Most Moorish Americans, they don't last long in the temple. They get frustrated. They don't know how to communicate. One of my old grand sheiks said to me, it's the principles that delude the slavery that we are unable to let go. So even in a temple setting, we will conflict without saying words. You understand? See, we got work to do. You see, and so when you go to the temple, you might say, man, I ain't feeling this. But guess what? When I went to the temple, I said, I'm not feeling this. You know what I did? I said, you know what? I got to bring the feeling that I desire there. And it's hard work. And that's why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, this is a field open to strong men and women who think their conditions can be better. That's what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. So if you don't think your conditions can be better, then this ain't for you. Islam, peace and love, family. Who I'm speaking with?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Laffy too from the chat.
Laffy too. I might have missed you, but what you say? You say anything significant that I can remember, bring to memory, brother? Talk to me.
I wasn't typing in the last couple minutes.
All right, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me. Where you from?
I'm from the Bronx, New York.
The boogie down. We got the boogie down. Now, hey, bro, let me tell you. I remember when I first went to New York, right? I just wanted to go to every barrel that I heard on a song, brother. And I was in every, I ain't lying. Uptown Sound, Brooklyn Sound, Bronx, Queens, and Long Island Sound. Remember that joint? You know what I mean? I had to go to every barrel. But anyway, that's another set. My bad. I zone out sometimes. What's going on, my brother? Talk to me.
I got a little simple question.
Yes, sir, brother.
I mean, I would just like to know, how do you deal with getting pulled over or being in court?
How do I deal with it?
What's your approach in these situations?
What you mean? If I get pulled over?
Yeah, or you end up in court or getting locked up or whatever.
Oh, bro, I got a driver's license. I get my driver's license. I don't. And listen, the true Moorish Science Temple of America, brother, we don't fight against the system. We strive to become the system. Meaning this, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali back in 1926 through 29, he created a voting block. And what that did was put people in office that became the police, that became the, he had judges next to him. He had, who else? So he had judges, he had lawyers, he had police. All of these people was support of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and he put a lot of people in voted position into place. So, but we gather that that's what we must do. In Baltimore, I'm going to strive to make somebody in the next voting election, the city council. On the city council in the 8th district. Once you get somebody in the city council, you have access to all them tax money you get that you pay for. You understand what I'm saying? If you sitting outside fighting, you ain't getting access to that money. That's millions and millions of dollars. The only way you're going to have access to that is you got to get in there. But you got to get your brother in there with your best interests at heart. Just don't vote for anybody. So you organize people around one person with your best interests. If you understood that in most districts, it doesn't take a whole lot of votes to get people in office because we don't vote. We think voting don't work. Voting don't work if you're voting for the wrong person. But if I can organize 2,500 people and downsize to 10 people, and from that 10, pick the best with the 25 people interests at heart, then we'll have access to that money. We'll have access to the police department. We'll have access to the courts. You feel what I'm saying? So that's real Moorish signs. Fake Moorish signs, it say that you got the right to travel. And when you travel, you ask them for a delegation of authority. Fake Moorish signs say when you get locked up for something you ain't have no business doing in the first place, you ask the judge, what's your jurisdiction? You don't have jurisdiction. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the same time, when you claim a nationality, don't at the same time you step out of the boundaries of the corporation?
Absolutely not. When anybody come here and they proclaim their nationality, does that make them separate from what you want to call the corporation? No. They function within it. Why are we the only group of people that thinks that when we claim our nationality or proclaim our nationality, it makes us separate thereof? Why would Prophet Noble Drew Ali fly this flag behind me? Why would Prophet Noble Drew Ali make statements like, to become a true American citizen? You know, he makes all sorts of statements to try to put us in the constitutional fold. No other country has a constitution like the United States. He says it's one of the greatest documents. He said we've been outside of the constitutional fold by answering to names that's not ours. He said, I want to teach people, my people, the things to become better citizens. Citizens of what? Of what? You know, so brother, we just have a misunderstanding. We think that this government is so corrupt. Little do we know that it allows us to get on in. And once we get on in, it allows us to harness the power of that living document. But as long as we continue to fight outside of the document, and we continue to fight outside of the document, we ain't getting nowhere. Man, these people, they got airplanes that they can fly with eyeglasses. And you think you go, what? You're going to show them a piece of paper that they going to respect? Man, you better get up inside there. You better understand what the story of the Trojan horse was all about. I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm just saying, brother, I wish I was in the Bronx and I could open a temple in there, brother, because this is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching that pure ancient Canaanite talk taught by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, revolutionized from 1920, and is even standard for today. If you understand the Trojan horse, then you understand what the true Moorish Science Temple of America is about. It's not about fighting the fight from without. It's about getting up in. Read the story of the Trojan horse, brother, and it'll give you a symbolic idea of what this movement is all about and what it is dedicated to. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said there's a misunderstanding to what this movement is dedicated to. It's not to fight the power, it's to become the power. I hope I cleared up any misconceptions, my brother. And now you're going to hear stuff everywhere else. But I'm telling you, and I'll ask you, which is more practical, fighting the power or becoming the power?
Is becoming the power. I mean, I've been hearing that, and it's coming more and more clear to me.
That's right, brother. But stay tuned to Moorish World TV, brother, because as time go on, within the next 12 months, bro, I'm coming to every city. I'm going to ask the people to support me in my travels and in my journeys. I'm going to ask for donations, brother, because this message has got to get out. And not only will I come to every city, I will come to any temple in there and explain how this works, because even a lot of people in the temple don't understand this, brother. I'm telling you, but it's okay. It's okay. Taharka Bey here, and by the will of Allah, I'm going to each city and I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to dedicate my life to showing people what pure Moorish science is. And it's not what people think, man. We the only people that jump on the rooftop and talk about, I am a sovereign, I am a national. They don't say sovereign no more, my fault. I am a national. I'm a national. We the only people do that. When you got Eskimos that they call Eskimos. You got Native American, pale Native Americans. They don't run around acting crazy because they was here before somebody. No, they organize. The smartest of the bunch organize. And once they organize, they harness that power so it can help all the people of their group. We the only ones that individually try to fight this fight. We go to RB Bey publications and we think that this is going to fight the fight. That's not going to fight the fight. That's going to help you get a couple driving tickets. It's going to help you get out of a few jams and then back into some more. How about you just drive like you got some sense? Wouldn't that be easy? Wouldn't that be easy? How about you not sell dope no more? How about that? How about you don't break no law? How about that? Notice that all these people that ask police for jurisdiction, you ask a judge for jurisdiction, you never ever wonder why the heck they in court anyway? Why was you in court, brother? Well, they said, read any of them articles online. Any of them articles online, you will notice that when people ask a judge for jurisdiction, they was in the wrong, they broke some law, or they was accused of wrong. And if you're not wrong, then you stand trial and you prove you're innocent. You sitting up there, you got a right for authority. That's just like saying when your mother catch you doing something and you talk about, but you ain't see me though. But you ain't see me though. That's a cop-out, man. We just don't want to be responsible, man. We need to be responsible, man. Moors are not criminals, man. We civilize the world, and it's time for us to re-civilize it, you know, because this your opinion. He didn't went all the way to the left this time. Donald Trump up in there. I'm like, oh. But no, brother, I appreciate you, brother. Keep watching, brother, and I'm going to do my best, like I said, man, to take this show on the road so I can teach people authentic Moorish science, because that's what's missing. And it's missing, not only is it missing online, it's missing in our communities, brother.
Obviously, I'm trying. I just wanted to hear another brother say, you know what I mean, and go into it further. You know what I mean? I've been hearing it, you know, Sabir Bey been on the same shit. Yeah, I got a driver's license. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like these guys, I'm going to tell you what these guys do. Their time is running out. The Sabir Beys, their time is running out. Because at the end of the day, just because he made a documentary about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, at the end of the day, because he on a radio show, he think that qualifies him to talk about Moorish science. Well, he just admitted the other day what he's talking is not Moorish science. And I want all them brothers to admit that it's not Moorish science. Rename it something else, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't teach that. They know everything about law, black law, dictionary, civic this, and all of this stuff. But you ask them something that's in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. And if your foundation on spiritual standing's not right, everything else ain't right. That's just where I stand with it. I mean, we are God-fearing people. We should have some foundation in God before we move anywhere else. And I'm not trying to be super religious or super spiritual, like I can walk on water. I'm just saying. I know it works. But we need to bring it back to reality, brother, and make this thing work. Our unity is going to make it work. When I talk to you and I say, brother, I need you to proclaim your nationality, and I need you to teach other people their nationality and proclaim their nationality. And then I need you to meet me on election day with 1,000 people in the Bronx so we can vote XYZ in 4 years from now. And we do this all around the country. You know what happens? That's how nationality works. We begin to harness the power of our own resources. How are you going to pay taxes into a system every time you go to a corner store, but then say, I'm a national? And you don't want access to the money. Why don't you want access to the money? That sounds like an agent to me. Your whole family pay taxes, but you don't want access to the money.
Hey, brother,
yes, sir.
Would you agree that they do a lot of unlawful things at the same time?
Brother, I just told you, most of the time, these brothers are trying to evade prosecution, and that's what it is. They are trying to invade. They want to drive.
I'm talking about the system itself, the government.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we got to take it over, brother. Absolutely. We got to take it over. We can only change it if we are there at the power. We have to be at the seat of power. If we're not at the table, my brother Sharif said, we're on the menu. If we're not at the table, we're on the menu. And that's it, my brother. With that being said, brother, I hope you keep on watching. I'm going to get up out of here, make me something to eat. I appreciate you, my brother. Keep watching. We're going to have more shows on this topic, and I hope you call in again, my brother. Peace and love.
No problem.
So there it is, family. Another beautiful show, and I'm going to get up out of here. Any more questions? Anybody doubt anything I say real quick? Because I'd like to get one last response, one last reply if anybody doubted anything I said. You know what I mean? If anybody doubt anything I say, you know what I mean? I give you one last chance to say your piece. You know what I mean? To say your piece. And he up out of here. He up out of here. Matter of fact, we ain't got time to play your game because they want to sell that old juice. So let me show you something. They want to sell that juice. Sorry, Jeremiah L. Bay. You got to sell that juice somewhere else. The Prophet Noble Dry got the plan. That's like Moorish hot. You know what I'm going to make Moorish hot? I'm going to make me a hookup. Y'all don't know about that. Now, I ain't making no hookup. Peace and love, family. Let's go out with this one. I love y'all, man. Let's go out with this one. Peace and love. All right, here we go again. Yeah. Time to check some people. Moorish World. Taharka Bey. I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. That's right. Islam. We for love, truth, peace, and freedom. Won't nobody do it, leave it to me, I will. You lame, you gotta chill, you so not real. I've been watching you fake snakes, acting different, cause you don't live in the hood and don't get public assistance. Man, my people be tripping when they think they better. All type of degrees, still dumber than ever. So corrupt and foul, but they know how to hide. They polish their life, it looks good on the outside. Before the bell back and I expose them all. They be tricking worse than them shorties up in the mall. Getting high as a kite, beating their wife and got a mistress and got another look down on you. The brothers is cursed, even worse than the no not. We know who you are, but all the heck you do is throw shots. We see what you got. Okay, you made it to school. Okay, you overcame. Lord, homie, that's cool. That's cool. So, you done came up with your low education. Now you want to look down on me and my people. We'll keep on looking down. That's right. And watch us. We on the come up. That's right, fam. Let's go. I'm sick and tired of these lame old frauds. Keep picking up the mic device, acting so hard. I've been through that fire, the type of things you never heard of. Lord lanes like you will commit self-murder. You acting like life so sweet over a beat. In the street without your heat, you clowns is weak. In the spot, in the box, you straight mince meat. The tattoo tears make you look like a geek. Lord sideshow freak, acting like they cheat, acting like they me, or who I used to be. But they all be a balance shit, no effort intelligence. diligence. Taking care of your seeds, irrelevant and pressing up shorty, cause she got a little shape. But her nail and her weave, her whole style is fake. How can she be a dime, her brain flat line? Her birth canal is probably phallus wine. Oh, yeah. Spit a few bars, that might put you on. Now you act like you hard. You ain't hard, no. Straight bluffing. Exactly. I'm getting at you. Let's go. I'm trying to tell you all, just wake up. How many lives will we destroy and get caked up? How much time will it take us to even the score? How many dope fiend babies on the NICU floor? How many queens gotta turn into crackhead whores before we understand our savior is just to be born? We got our eyes to the sky, the solution is in us. God put that with us. We born winners, we choose to be sinners. I play along, forgive us and forgive me for the way that I choose to deliver. But my message is the same as the Moorish Quran, but I say it in a way that certain people will respond. So go ahead, talk, ridicule and judgment, and go sit around and watch things get ugly when it all fall apart. The people you look down on, they be the only one that you can count on. Yeah, look like your mother, father, sister, or friend. We need to realize we all we got in the end. Ain't nobody coming to your rescue but you. Instead of running your mouth, won't you see what you can do? Your life is only worth what you sacrifice. And black people, stop being so trifling. Asiatics, stop being so trifling. Come on, people, stop being so trifling. It's time for us to come up. We gotta stop playing, man. More step to the front. Stop acting like you bougie.
Yeah, Allah, Father, universe. Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation. By night and by day. Through his holy prophet, through our leader. Amen. Amen. Let's go.
Side matter, you know better than the test of more. You the Jones educate, now you can rest assured. We gon' teach them to love instead of hate. Boys, we uplift and educate. You wanna debate, y'all pathetic. And everybody wanna be competitive. Steady shot the hot moves, anyone can get it. It's real down here, B-boy, let's make it clear. I'm learning to love instead of hate, but I ain't there. I want you to know it's about time we check. You dressed up with mental, you got disrespectful. I'ma keep it raw, you haven't met no more. You if you did, your approach wouldn't be so piss poor. Red Bill gave you the path, I do the math. How many other words, 2 seconds, I'm off your ass. Sometimes I know exactly what he doing, he be hyping. He thought king, you 1990 Mike Tyson. About to get knocked the F up. For sure, got the balls on the run. It's one thing you left out. Behind you, I'll be running you down. I respect you as an elder, but I'm sunning you now. Yeah, I love my brother Simon, I got more love for God. A house of consciousness, a house of cards, a house of fraud. More if we go hard. You should have got the general to lead the charge, so we can smack them around like POLIGHT did. Make them move to Beverly Hills like POLIGHT did. That's right. What up, sweetie?